Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Season 2 of OCL. My name is Dice and I'm joined today on the stream by Galilith,
Hello.
Nan,
Hello.
and Laugh. Oops, apparently still muted, that's okay.
How are we, folks? I'm Lath.
We're going to be bringing you two sets tonight, a big back-to-back. Our first one of the night will be Shell Shocked versus Desto's 10-minute Microwave Miracles. It should be a pretty exciting set. And our second one of the night, of people are looking forward to watch that one. What are the thoughts, gents? What do we think about these four teams going into tonight?
Well, excited to see both. I'm kind of a little more excited for the second set, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think you and most of OC are really excited to see what both of these. We did tweet a little bit earlier as well. Powerbuff Girls, I believe their debut is the first Oceanic competitive all-female team, which is for Smite, which is really exciting. So keen to see what they can bring to the table this week.
Yeah, we love to see a bit of diversity in the region and everyone having a crack and getting in there.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and I think they've managed to put together some pretty big faces for OCE. Lorraine's on the team, and so is Devane as well. So, two of the biggest Smite streamers in OCE. So, female Smite streamers, just Smite streamers in general. So,
Yeah, I think probably the two biggest just in general.
yeah. So it's pretty exciting to have them on board and helping out the scene. But let's talk about this first. Actually, you know what? Let's go have a quick look over the schedule here. Yep, that's the one, and we'll chat about the rest of the games that have happened this week. At the beginning of the week, we had Cognitive Chickens versus Dandy Demons. Probably one of our more exciting sets this week. It was a pretty close one, 2-0 to the Cognitive Chickens, and I mean, we got two of the boys right here. What do you guys think of that set? How are you feeling going into that one? Good vibes?
First set of it was our first set of OCL season 2, so getting back into it with the chicken's way, So probably not our best performance, but we've come a long way since that set, but we were still happy to close it out with a 2-0, yeah?
Yeah,
It was a 2-0.
it's kind of just a little thing that we like to do over at the Chickens is to hard run it down game one and look like a bunch of absolute idiots and then try and clean it up game two. But I mean, I like to think we learn from our mistakes pretty well. But it was a fun set either way. Real shout out to the Dandy Demons.
Yeah, absolutely clean set. And our second set this week was Five Guys, Three Lanes versus By Gravity Finance. By Gravity took that 1 and a 2-0, and another pretty good set actually, pretty exciting. Those two teams are pretty evenly matched, in my opinion, at the very least. And yeah, it was really cool seeing a couple of the older players, Weave and Corb, sort of come back into the scene and make a bit of an entrance in Season 2 of OCL.
Yeah, it's always nice to bring back all the older players, wheel them out of the old retirement homes.
Yeah, someone has to do it.
Yeah, it always brings a bit of excitement for some of the older players that aren't playing as well.
Absolutely. A third game from this week as well was OBB versus my own team, Thunderclap, Death Wyverns, and I mean, personally, I think that was a really exciting set. We really, really were proud of our performance in that one. But what do you guys think?
It was the highlight of the week, to be honest. I thought it was very, very close games. I feel like the top two, I think, or top three, teams were just battling it out. So
Yeah, I really enjoyed the set. I enjoyed that it was close as well. Less close in the second game, but it was good to see both teams showing some good aggression and neither one sort of just falling over both games.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, going into this season of OCL, there's a lot of really, really competitive teams going at it for the number one spot. And unlike the first season, I think that, it might genuinely be a question as to what first, second, third place look like. And for those of you that don't know, we've actually upped the prize pool for this season of OCL. We've got a lot more teams that are going to be playing as well. So not only is it going to be a more exciting season, but a bit better of a payoff for the players as well at the end of it.
really, wow, so much.
Oh, can't wait! Can't wait!
More than last season. If only
my
the
God.
first season's gems would get paid off already for people. Anyway, yeah, so for the rest of this week, as we said before, we've got Shell Shocked versus Desto's 10-minute Microwave Miracles coming up first, and Cash Money versus Powerbuff Girls. I reckon we should go check out those teams now and see who we've got on these rosters.
Alrighty. First of all, have a look at Shell Shocked. What do you think?
So I do like this Shell Shock roster. There's some older names coming back there. Commando Chris really stands out to me as a solo laner recently brought onto that team. Azrael, Blackheart's every season, every competitive time period, he comes by, he puts himself together a team, normally with some of the same players on it, and he's just keen to compete. I am really, really excited to see what they're able to bring out. I know they've been scrimming a fair bit over the last week to try and sort of tune out what they need to do together.
Yeah,
I'm keen to see what they do.
I'm excited to see these guys. I'm excited. The Commander Chris, a big pickup.
Yeah.
Obviously, negative noob, moving over to support, which he's played a lot of support. I know him personally. I've known him back in the console scene from a fair few years ago. I used to play in houses with him and such, and he was always like a mid support player. So I'm glad to see him out of that solo lane into support, and I'm really glad to see him pick up Commando Chris in the solo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
for me, I think Commander Chris is probably the biggest name, just in terms of, I guess, what he's done in the past. He's been on a few teams. He's been around for quite a while. The only other name that stands out to me personally, I recognize Quickie. I know he's played mid for a bit. I don't know. I don't think he's played competitively too much or in any competitions, but I know he's been a mid player for some time, so I wouldn't expect him to be too bad either.
Yeah, absolutely. I think and Quickie is definitely one of the older names from OCE as well. So, again, a few new people coming back for this team, which is quite exciting to see. I believe now though we do have Azriel ready for an interview. Bring him in here for a quick pre-game one. Hello there, sir. Welcome. How you going?
Doing good yourself?
Oh, you were very quiet.
Oh.
There you go.
We're doing
Yeah,
well.
good, mate. Yeah, we're doing great so far. You excited to get into this first set of OCL for you guys?
Yeah, keen as.
Yeah, new team, new season. How you feeling about some of the players that you picked up?
Feel pretty good. Got Chris in solo lane, and he's been real helpful with his experience for me,
Yep.
mostly. And yeah, pretty keen to have Dan move to support and try it out.
Yeah, 100%. I think we were just talking about Chris. He's been around the scene for years and has definitely moved between quite a few teams. So I can only imagine that experience would help you guys out a fair bit.
Yeah.
Now you're playing into Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles tonight. The Snowies team. How are you feeling about those guys? Where have you done a bit of prep going into this one for them?
In all honesty, probably not. Not enough for what they are. But
Yeah.
as long as we just don't let them snowball, we should be right, I think.
Yeah,
I think we
absolutely. I
can
mean,
compete. So.
it's also only week one. There's still a whole few months left of the league as well, so more than enough time to scrim and feel each other out and that sort of stuff. Obviously, a few team changes going into this first game for you guys early on, so a bit more prep time could only help.
Yeah, that's all we need. Just more scrims.
Absolutely.
Hopefully our solo laner shows up on time.
Yeah, that would be
because he's
that would
running
be
a bit
lovely.
late.
Sure, it'd be all right. Boys, anything you want to ask?
So how much have you played with this current roster? Is this did you had some new additions, did you, since the starting of this league? Have you done many scrims or played many games with these guys? How familiar are you with everyone?
So we picked up Chris pretty recently, so we got only a couple scrims in with him, but it feels really good, like with all his experience and like calls. He's really good with his comms for us. He's probably been the biggest help.
Excellent,
One
good
of
to
our
hear.
pickups.
That's probably it from me. Final thoughts, Dice, or
I have a
I would-
question.
Go
Yeah.
on.
So I've been on a team with Chris, and he was in mid, and he was pretty washed. Is he still washed, or is he, or is he up to his level?
He carried that team. Thank you very much.
He did. He did. But
Maybe
is he
a little
still?
washed,
Is he still
but-
got it?
Nah, yeah, he's still got it from
That's
what I've seen. So be keen
Well,
to play with him more.
Tell us then. Give us your prediction for this set. Who's going to take the win? What's the scoreline going to be at the end of it?
Well, I have to say 2-0 to us, but I'll probably be lying. But no.
I'll take the
We'll try.
confident
We'll
answer.
try. We'll
2-0 to
try
you.
and
We
get
love
the
to hear
2-0.
it.
2-0 to you, confirmed it. I'll lock it in now as a 2-0
Alright, thank
victory
you.
already.
give us some good games. That's all that matters.
Absolutely.
Will do.
All right, well, thanks for the chat. Good luck with your set.
No worries, thank you.
Cheers. Yeah. All right. Good chat. He's pretty
Lovely,
pretty
lovely
confident going
fellow.
into it. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. Hey.
Yeah, we love to see a bit of confidence, especially from what is unfortunately like one of the lower teams compared to what we're assuming is going to be one of the top teams. It's good to see a bit of confidence and a bit of a get up and go from them.
Yeah, absolutely. And they will be playing into another exciting team for this season, Desto's 10-minute Microwave Miracles. So check them out and have a bit of a chat about their team as well. On that team, we've got Young Leg Solo, Unga Instinct Jungle, Vintage Mid, Desto Support, and Snowy ADC. It's a bit of a power squad going into this season, I
Yeah,
reckon.
it's like sort of a roster built from a few players who are around in OCL. Obviously, Legs was on a team, Unga was a sub, Vintage was not on a team, but kind of around the league.
Well,
Decimate coming out of the
Actually,
grave.
Vintage, Unga, and Legs were all on the same team last season. It's just that
True.
Vintage and Unga were both subs for that team.
That's true. What team was that? I can't remember, actually.
I can't remember either, but
Yeah, oh, well.
I mean, Desto, an old school player, been around the traps a couple times. Always clean with it. So it's good to see him back in playing.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking to some of the guys on my own team, they were really, really excited to see Desto coming back, and again, seeing some of these old men of Smite wheeling out of the retirement home. So, I am curious though. Young Legs and Solo, obviously, he was ADC on the Chickens last season. What do you guys reckon with the move over to Solo this season?
Well, we've seen seen him jungle too, so if I were to hear that Legs was role swapping, I'd be fairly confident. I think he can pull it off, and he seems pretty confident in the role. It's still quite a swap from ADC, and especially since he was a strong ADC, so he's kind of foregoing that strength he had, but I don't doubt he will still be able to do a lot of things in solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have noticed as well. He's leaned more into those more assassin, like full damage assassin solos, like the Kamazots kind of style. Even some warriors like Chuck with full damage. I'd be curious to see if we're going to see like a Rangda's warrior coming out of him this set, or
That would
maybe
be spicy.
a Rangda's Kabrakan or Terra, something a little spicy.
Knowing this team as well, I honestly would not be surprised if Vintage pulls out a Rangda's Guardian or something in mid, or a warrior as well, and just tries to absolutely dominate that mid lane and get as much pressure as he can. He does enjoy those Rangda's tanks in mid.
And we've
yeah,
got what were you gonna say, last?
I was just going to say he's a bit of a spicy man. Yeah, he does like an out there pick or two.
Oh, I'm hoping to see that this set. But we've got Snowy coming in to fill that ADC role, and he was not in the league last OCL season either. So far, he's played one set so far. I think he's still got a little bit to show, but I believe he's been a long time ADC player and definitely been in a few comp scenes. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he goes this set.
Yeah, he did sub in last season, I think, for a few of the teams he was playing as a free agent. But I don't actually think we got to see him in ADC. I think his big premiere
We
back
got
to
to see
OCL
some
was
Sovex solos, I
the
believe.
solo
which was
back.
Yeah, that's
The
right.
a
Snolo
treat to
back.
watch.
Absolutely. But having scrimmed them a couple of times, coming into the start of this season, I think they're a pretty solid roster, and
Leak?
Snowy.
Any leakers?
Any leakers? Any results? No. But yeah, Snowy, I think does a pretty good job kind of keeping that team together and being that sort of backbone in ADC. So it's keen to see them play tonight. But we do have the Snowman himself ready to go for an interview. I reckon we'll bring him in and see what his thoughts are, boys. Hello, Snowy. How you going?
What's up?
Hello. I am very good. Thanks for asking.
Oh, that's good, man. You got a set tonight in a little bit. Did you know that?
Oh, lobby's up. I'm waiting. I'm rear.
How many
How you
people you
feeling
got in
going
that
into this?
lobby? So
Actually, true.
Uh,
No, true.
8. One from
8.
each team is missing.
Oh,
okay.
that's concerning. Look, you still got 5 minutes. It's
That
fine.
was just information I wanted to know.
Write that down. Write that down. How you feeling going into tonight, Snowy?
Pretty good. I mean, it's been like 2 weeks to get this organized, so I'm just keen to play and finally get our games done.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I mean, you guys have had a lot of opportunities to scrim in that last 2 weeks. How have those been going? Are you guys feeling confident as a team at the moment?
Yeah, no, it's all been pretty good. Our solo laner is kind of rough, I
Mhm.
think, but it's probably the best place for him to be. Don't want to have to deal with him anywhere else. But no, it's been pretty good. We're all meshing together pretty well.
Look, I mean, I heard that he went to solo so that you could play ADC.
That's not what happened.
Are you saying that Young Legs is the weakest link on your team?
No, I mean honestly, we're all pretty decent. I think that we all have our moments where we probably throw, but it's all good.
We were just saying that it's quite a pretty good squad, a bit of a powerhouse going into season 2 of OCL. I'm really excited to see how you guys go and how you guys play.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can achieve some good results, put on a decent show.
I mean, that's all that we ask for, honestly. Put on a good show. Boys, anything you want to ask Snowy?
Yeah, Snow, I got a question. How do you guys deal with the fact that every time your solo laner opens his mouth, you fall asleep?
Yeah, no, it's kind of like a lazy river vibe with all the drool that he kind of puts out, so we just go with the flow, get carried along.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so you just guys kind of put the raft down the river and just hang back and let it go. All right, good.
Yeah.
We'll write that down.
Most of the time I just play with him muted in comms. Same experience.
Wait,
yeah,
surely
good.
you made him go solo, because in solo you just don't speak at all.
Yeah, and he's getting his jaw wide shut in a couple weeks, so hopefully that'll be a big power boost for our team. But we'll see what happens.
I have to make sure I rig the schedule to not verse you guys during that week, I think.
And
what?
how's laning with Destiny? Because I know he's been jungle for quite a while. I don't think we've seen him in sup for quite some time. How are you finding it?
Desto's always going to be a good player, like no matter how long he's away for. When he comes back, he's got the Smite game sense, so it's awesome laning with Desto. Couldn't ask for a better support.
Great to hear.
Yeah, I think again another power boost that you guys are going to get is when he gets a solid PC sorted out as well. I think then he's going to be an absolute animal in that lane as well.
We'll have to see when that is. I'm not convinced.
Is he? Don't leak too much, but is he the one person from your team missing from this lobby?
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Did someone chuck some pizza in the microwave?
Yeah, shut down his whole house, turned on the microwave, and the power went out.
Oh, it's beautiful. Alright, so now give us your prediction. What do you reckon for this set? Who's going to win and what's the scoreline going to look like?
2-0 for us, but I think we're losing because we play with legs.
Fair prediction.
Fair call. Alright, well, good luck with your game, Snowy. Thanks for the chat. I'll see you
Thanks.
later.
Shout out Benzilla.
Every time.
You don't do shoutouts before your set. You do it after when you win.
Please don't suggest that to him. One shout out for Benzilla is more than enough per stream. Alright, well, I
Okay.
don't imagine that it'll be too long before we're able to get into picks and bans, although they did say that they were waiting.
I'll get the spectate queued, but yeah, I believe they're still in the lobby, so not in drafts yet.
That's alright. I think I'm sure that we can fill a little bit of time. I don't imagine that it'll take them forever to get into it. Any ideas for what either of those teams might look out for picks and bans, though? Some strong picks that they might pull out.
I mean, I think what someone touched on earlier about those mid lane guardians with Ragnars, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see that coming from Desto's team. Vintage Cow 12 kind of likes to lean into those picks as of lately, I think, and like I said, maybe a full damage assassin from the solo lane legs.
Yeah, I think from our intel and from what's also being played in SPL, I wouldn't be surprised about that at all. Some Terra mids, some Cab mids possibly, and then legs building full damage assassins, just the way he likes to. But as for Shell Shocked, still a bit of a mystery. I don't think we've really we haven't seen them play this season, and I haven't scrimmed them or seen their scrims, so they could be a team that just play comfort picks, which can work really well, or they do kind of play more the meta, probably a mixture of both. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll know after the first draft, and probably see from there.
Yeah, I think that question will basically answer itself as soon as we are in picks and bans. I think I think Chris is probably a strong enough solo laner that he can sort of roll with the meta quite nicely. But you know, they might be able to do sort of a mix between comfort picks and meta picks and pick themselves up a pretty solid comp, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I do remember seeing Chris a little while back in Soul Lane just pumping Kronos and, you know, kicking me a lot. So I'd be interested to see if he's going to pull out like some sort of warrior. Maybe he will do a, you know, like a hunter or a mage. So that Soul Lane's going to be an interesting thing to watch, in my opinion. That's probably where I want to see, which is odd because normally Solo's not that interesting.
Yeah, look, I mean, if we see First Blood in solo lane because Chris has pulled out a Kronos and Yegs has pulled out a Rangda's Mask Assassin, I'm entirely okay with that.
Yeah, it's just coming back to me now. Like he's played a lot of mid from the comp that I've seen him, but I also remember him in solo now. He's definitely a traditional warrior player, and I actually wouldn't be surprised to see him on a Cyrus if they get it. I think he likes picks like that, just those uh, very standard bruiser picks. You know, whatever's in meta right now. I think we'll see that kind of thing from him. I don't think we'll see guardians or mages or assassins. I I'm expecting to see just some beefy warriors out of him,
I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled out an Osiris or a King Arthur or something. I think you're right about
or a
that.
Tia.
Yeah. Well, even back in the day, way back in the day on my first competitive OCE team, Chris was our solo laner, so he's definitely got the history behind him for it. And yeah, I definitely think though that he will be pulling from that warrior sort of pool of gods. You're absolutely right. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it from Mana or something like that as well, like the older school sort of warriors that really popped off back in the day.
Yeah, I guess it'll just be whatever suits the comp or whatever suits him. Yeah.
I'm excited to see it.
Still waiting for these guys to get into their game. I wish there was some way we could
Fill the
we could
time.
know what was going on.
Yeah,
I can
true
see
that.
the lobby. 9 out of 10. They are waiting on one.
I can guarantee to you who it is as well.
I'm pretty sure it's Chris, and I've just seen Chris pop up in a team comms chat for Shell Shock. So hopefully the game is actually about to start.
Never mind, I was gonna take a stab at it being Desto with his PC, but that's fine.
Okay, so will I stream Smite to you, Dice, or will you spectate?
Yeah, I think that's probably the only way to do. Oh yeah, I can spectate it, I guess.
Yeah, I think that'd be better, because then I can show Lath the picks and bans.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool, cool.
Hopefully well lined up. I can't imagine any reason we wouldn't be.
And hopefully not long to wait.
Oh, I do believe, just by the way as well,
Yeah.
that there is some subbing going on for this set. I think Shell Shocked is subbing Flicks into ADC today.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah,
that's for
they,
Stuzzy, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I
yeah,
believe
he's
Stuzzy's not
previously,
around.
I believe that was previously Hearn.
Yeah, who was also previously Vandalus from Season 1 OCL.
Correct, yeah. Bit of name changes there, but yes, Flicks will be
Right.
playing on that team, and they will be using their official sub as well, Schmitty. So a bit of subbing from Shell Shocked on this one, obviously. As Snowy said, a bit difficult to set up this game in that time period, but
Yeah.
hopefully they'll have those problems later.
Right.
I did hear there's also some like family issues that popped up last minute, so unfortunately, yeah, they will be using that double sub. But hopefully they can still hold it together and give us a couple of games of Smite.
Absolutely. I think Flicks is probably a good person to have around for them as well. He's definitely been picking up on the competitive meta of recent pretty solidly, and he's got some good players around him on his own team to help him out with that sort of stuff. So,
And
you know, if you had to sub someone in, it's not a bad choice.
yeah, some another piece of intel. I'm not sure if I mean Flix is going to ADC, that's correct, right? For this set.
Yep.
I think we could be seeing more ADC from him. Depending on what their team end up doing. So yeah, this could be a useful game for him.
Yeah, I may or may not have heard some similar information through the
Some
grapevine that
yeah. Talk
looking
around the
to go
block.
back to ADC.
Yeah.
Are
Oh,
we going into
we're in.
events?
Are you
Okay.
in, Dice? Can you get in?
I sure am. Yep.
Nice, and I will swap over to.
I do have to swap this around though. I think wrong
Oh, yeah.
sides apparently.
This one. And give Lath this. Alrighty. So, Lath, we're in. Pick some bands. It's you and I believe, analysts.
Very
Um,
big. On the desk, your boys Nan and Lath. Pretty standard bands straight off the bat. Kepri, Yamoja, two best supports in the game. I'm not too sure really if they are still the absolute best supports, but OCE supports. And then a couple jungle bands in the Nemesis and Daji, and then a Freya band out of Desto's team. Quite odd. Mostly this second pick team like to ban that away.
yeah, I mean, pretty standard, so they're probably just banning through meta things. They might have an idea of who they want to first pick, since they are first pick. So, yeah, and the
Yeah,
ISIS ban for Shell Shock. For Shell Shock, it's still a bit of a mystery. I was going to say before, we don't really have much to say about them because we haven't really seen them play yet. So these bans might make sense for them. They might not be fans of playing Yamoja, Freya,
Oh,
even Daji.
that makes more sense. It was actually the second pick team that banned the Freya, and that does leave the Chernobog open, which looks like it's been yoinked up by Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles, but Kara and Osiris on the back end's a pretty good pickup.
Yeah, Churn looking like one of the highest prior picks right now in OCL meta. Responded with Chiron Osiris. I think we'll be seeing a bit more Chiron. I've seen a few teams like playing him, so I think it's a bit of an OCE thing. Not really seeing that reflected in SPL. Osiris,
Yeah.
this was a bit of a call from me, so
Yeah,
that's going to Chris.
55% win rate on the Osiris, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, that would have been from OCL
Season
last
1.
season, yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping that's Chris and Osiris, and I think he'll be making waves with it. Erlang and Zeus. I think that's a Zeus lock.
Yeah, but that's
Responded.
the thing. Picking up that Osiris does leave the 100% win rate Erlang. That is only, of course, across 2 games. So I would assume that that's just from this season. And
Yeah, I'd say so.
it is the Zeus lock-in as well, and Baron hovered for Shell Shocked. Interesting.
It's a bit of a weird. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about Zeus right now. I don't know how high prior he is. I think it's a bit weird to see him in the first phase. So Baron has just responded instantly, and I think that could be something Zeus struggles into unless they have a real solid PLO right now. Assuming it's Zeus mid.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make too many assumptions with this team.
No,
Yeah.
I do think that that's probably a Baron support though, with that Osiris lock-in hopefully going over to Chris in the solo lane. So Baron support, I guess that ultimate does kind of punish the Zeus a little bit for positioning, but I'm not sure. I think maybe after seeing the Zeus, they could have gone for something just a little bit more high pressure, high dive.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Chiron's pretty safe. I think whatever mid laner they choose here will probably want to be quite safe too. Osiris is going to be able to do a lot of solo diving though, so I think it's fine for them to have quite a backline support. And bans coming out for both teams. So Sol and Yu Huang banned for Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles. We need to shorten that.
So probably acknowledging that Chiron's probably going towards the middle lane instead of the duo lane, so trying to ban out the magical ADCs. And
Yeah, I mean, Yu Huang can be played either mid or ADC, so you're kind of hitting two with one there, which is good.
yeah,
And then
I
just
do
two
like the
standard
Yukong ban.
support. Yeah, two standard supports banned for Shell Shocked, and they pick up Horus instantly. I think we're going to start to see more Horus. So you'd have to think Baron mid if that's a Horus lock, or it could be a Cyrus jungle, but
Yeah, I'm starting to think that this is the Cyrus jungle. The Baron will be going to the solo lane and
solo,
Horus
yeah.
support. But I've seen a couple of Horus solos.
I've seen them in SPL for sure. Yeah, I feel like it's a hit or miss. I think you have to play the pick with the team well, and you have to not get too pressured in lane. I'm no solo expert, but not a traditional solo laner. Hell hovered for I don't know the microwavers. What do we call them? Microwave miracles? Let's call them that.
Yeah, I'm going out on a limb here to assume that that is a Hell support.
Yeah,
I do not see Legs playing this in the solo lane with that Zeus already locked in and the Chernobog. I'd have to assume that there's your mid ADC right there. So I think either this Erlang Shen that's been picked up early is for Legs, or whatever is about to be picked here is for him. I do not believe that this will be a Hell solo.
yeah. it's just not a legs kind of god, not a legs kind of character. Certainly not what we predicted.
Yep.
The
100% win rate on that hell though. That's interesting.
Oh yeah,
Must be-
I want to see the KDA for that.
Oh
Hopefully it
yeah, I'm
gets it
pretty sure.
bumped up this game. And the cab now.
Cap. Okay, I do indeed think that that is an Erlang solo for legs because we've seen Cody run this Kabrakan a lot.
Yeah,
So that
cab is a favored pick for Cody. I agree with that. I was
yeah,
almost
which
gonna think, could this Zeus be going somewhere, and we do see a cab mid, but I don't see it working. Although I would not be
it could be
surprised at this point.
it could be a Zoo solo and a Cab mid. This is an interesting. I'm very excited to get in the game to find out who's playing what from these picks.
And we're waiting on what we presume the mid pick to be last for Shell Shocked. It's kind of, if they are picking the mid here, it's kind of nice for the mid laner. He knows he's going to have to face the Kabrakan with those cab walls. Erlang's very run it down. It's a nice kind of comp. Microwave Miracles have ended up here with sort of a good mixture of back and front line. I think the Zeus. I think they could struggle to peel the Zeus actually, especially off the Osiris. I don't think the Hell will be able to do too much. They picked the Hell into Osiris, remember? So yeah, that's
That
an
is
interesting
true.
one. Hell's a weird one to be honest, and Hell doesn't look like a Destinate pick to me either. So
Yeah, Hell doesn't look like anyone's pick besides maybe Vintage and Middle.
I feel
So
like Destinate would have to be playing Erlang or Kabrakan, like for the kind of player he is. It's a real mystery this comp right now.
yep.
Merlin, last pick for Shell Shocked. Um, what can you?
I,
Can't really say
I do
anything
like
bad about him.
yeah, I do like the Merlin. I think the Merlin's good. I do think Cab, if Cab can bait out that flicker, it's just kind of an easy death inside those tectonic rifts. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm curious to see how this goes, but I do like the Merlin just in general right now. I think it's a pretty solid mid pick.
Yeah, it's really nice damage. Obviously, he can flicker over the cab walls. Apart from his short-ranged blink, which is how they word this flicker, he doesn't really escape too well. He's sort of someone that just places abilities on him as his kind of peel. He has slows. He has the pull in his arcane stance. I think he can peel himself from an Erlang fine. I think he could still struggle into a cab if his flicker gets forced early. But he has quite a nice comp around him to appeal and set up. I don't mind the comp for both of these teams. I really don't mind the comp for what's this team? Shell Shocked? Is that what their
Shell
team?
shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they've disappeared at the top of the
Yeah.
UI. Yeah. I like both comps. I mean I think I like Shell Shock comp more. To be honest.
As far as comps go, yeah, I do like the shell shocked one just a little bit more. I do think the biggest win condition here is for this Merlin just to be real patient. I think he needs to position himself right and hold on to that flicker as long as he can.
Yeah, he can get a lot of free damage off on this Zeus if he plays to the max range of his abilities and can sort of use walls to his advantage. He can shoot a lot of things over walls. Probably wants to avoid the fire stance really, unless he's blowing up at Kabrakan. It's hard to say like what players, what characters on Microwave Miracles are going to be building damage and what are going to be building tank, because we really don't know right now. We know the Churn's probably building damage. We know the Zeus is probably building damage, but apart from that, we don't know the Cab, the Hell, the Erlang. I don't think we can say for sure what roles we'll be seeing them in until we jump into this game.
I wouldn't be surprised if we just saw all 5 of them building damage, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, in this current meta, that could work with the items available right now. Cab has that natural tankiness too. His passive is really nice, especially early. I think it's like he takes 5 less damage from all sources
Yeah,
or something.
it's not just him as well, it's also allies close to him. So
Yeah, true.
yeah, even when full damage, still quite a tanky god, and still kind of plays his role as a guardian well.
And especially nice that passive into gods who deal a lot of tick damage, like Merlin. You know, nearly every ability and well, one ability in each of his stances, and then his ult also has a lot of tick damage in it. So that's reducing a lot of damage, 5 per tick. So he's going to be a tanky boy no matter how he builds.
Yeah, I think this cab is kind of the big win condition. I just want to know if it's in mid, as we did call a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
because I think we will see it run absolutely wild.
Alright, looks like we are loading into the game, so I'll get that set up as I throw it over to Dice Heart now. It's all good.
Dysart and Galalath for the cast.
Thank you very much, boys, and very, very exciting stuff. Those picks and bans, very interesting. Seeing the hell picked up. I have no idea. It'll be interesting to see maybe a support pick, the Zeus as well. I don't think we've really seen that too much this season, so it should be interesting. Gal, what do you reckon for game number 1 of this set? Who do you reckon's going to take it?
Well, just from looking at where everyone is positioned, I think what's it called? Microwave is gonna take it, I feel like. They
Think
haven't
we're
really
just
trolled too hard.
having some technical difficulties, possibly. Game could or could not be frozen, so just keep chatting away.
Hey, we'll keep chatting.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, looking at it now, we can pretty clearly see Desto on that hell, so very likely going into the support role. Vintage playing that Zeus, which honestly, like, you would think that Zeus is a mid pick, but knowing Vintage, it's actually pretty surprising to see him on that one.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to see him play the correct middle, but Zeus is also just very, very high damage and can get away with a lot of things if you play it the right way. So I'll be
Yeah, absolutely.
looking forward to that.
They definitely have the setup for it too. Having that Erlang Shen being able to come in at pretty much any point in the fight, create that sort of positioning for the Zeus to be able to get that ult off as well, and being able to facilitate beads popping that with the Kabrakan as well. Like, there's a lot of really, really good setup for the Zeus there, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty worried about this Melon though. Melon is going to have a hard time into this bracket mid to late game. Very, very risky pick in my opinion. Just a lot of people can just run him down.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot on the side of is this working now? Yeah, there's definitely a lot there to be able to punish that Merlin. You're absolutely right. I think the Bracken plays really, really well into it. Flicker does get him out of a lot of that, but I mean, as soon as you get out of one ability, you've got another one that you have to deal with. And how long was it before he's trapped inside of a Zeus ult?
Yeah, definitely. You just got to be super, super careful, and hopefully the microwave team can focus this Melon and just shut him down. There should be
Yeah.
3 kills on him, but yeah, hopefully the mid laner on Shell Shocked is comfortable with the Melon and can survive.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see as well on Osiris going into this hell. I think the hell was picked after the Osiris though, so a
Yeah.
bit of a sus pick. But
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
guess they just wanted some healing, or I don't know what the hell pick is really for. It's kind of an interesting pick.
yeah, you can't get Sphinx's Bauble at the moment, so you're not going for 60%
That
CDR.
would be OP.
That would be ridiculously good. I mean, I guess you've got the cleansers on a decent cooldown. You're relatively tanky, but I mean, if you're relying on that heal and you've got an Osiris ulting you, you're probably not getting that much out of it.
Yeah, but Osiris ult is hard to hit, and I don't think you would Osiris ult in hell. So,
Yeah, if they're both, well, I mean, why would you Osiris ult their support? Like, you're
yeah,
probably not
true.
going to get that much value out of it.
Yeah.
Especially if they're going towards that Protector's Mask and losing a fair bit of that healing until the late game anyway.
Oh, looks like we're back into the game, boys and girls.
We are indeed. Let's see where some of these build pathways go shortly. Protector's Mask on that Baron, pretty standard stuff. I am keen to see the Baron support. I was playing it a little bit at the start of this season. And it's had its ups and downs, but I am keen to see it played out here.
I think Baron here is really, really good. You have immobile gods like the Hell, Zeus, Kabrakan. I think this Baron's just going to have a lot of fun just throwing out his abilities. And I guess, yeah, throwing out your 3 as well, just to stop them from running away.
Yeah, absolutely. We did see the Helliers going into the Protector's Mask pathway, so already losing a fair bit of that healing going into, until realistically until level 15 as well. So
yeah, I forgot about that. Like that item, what's it called? Yeah, gets rid of your healing percentage.
it does indeed.
So...
You do get a bit punished for that pick there, but I mean, I can only imagine that Desto will make it work for him and be able to play it quite well and sort of make it work for his team there.
Yeah.
Pretty standard builds. Otherwise, the mannequins on the Erlang, you're just going to be absolutely ripping through people at the moment. Erlang still hasn't been nerfed just yet from his most recent changes, so I'm pretty terrified to see him going into this matchup here.
Sorry for the interruptions with changing the names right now. It was Crash. Sorry, the Smite game did crash, so just gonna quickly chuck in the names now. But basically, they're just doing the standard start, which is the red buff to the speed and then backs. And it's, yeah, there's nothing really happening. It's just the standard old start. But I don't mind this start. It's good for the solo games.
Yeah, absolutely. I would not be at all surprised to see a very early solo gank as well, to be honest with you. A lot of the teams have been, you know, forfeiting that extra bit of mid-farm. These junglers going straight into that solo lane to look for an early creep gank. Standard trade-offs in this duo lane at the moment. I would expect, I mean, realistically, Chiron should be able to get pressure over Chernobog for level 1. In fact, 100% of the time, Chernobog really doesn't have an ability level 1.
Yeah.
But obviously the sustain coming out from that hell is going to create a lot of space for the shell shock side as well. Sorry, for the Desto side as well.
Azrael's over here getting the totem for Commander Chris, looking for young legs. Blinks in.
Legs here, blink in. Bees forced out of legs there. He's going to walk back under his tower and survive, but that Bees was forced very, very early for him, and this lane might get an area from here on out.
Good beat by, I can't see the names. I don't know why I can't see the names. Sorry.
Snowy getting very low here. Flick's forced to use his beads there as well. A lot of damage is coming out there. Snowy's still trapped, and a quick heal coming out from Negative Noob. A bit coming from Desto as well, but Desto's running out of mana on this hell, and Flick's a Negative Noob. Still pretty comfortable with their mana bars right now.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to win this lane. It's a bit hard, but... Oh, Negative Noob, a bit of laggy there, but...
I hate to see that.
Yeah, I hate to see that, but I think once the hell rotates, I think Snowy's going to have a bit easier time, and Flix should be able to hold his own in the lane, and it's just going to be a slow lane, I think, from now.
I think Flix does have to be pretty careful once they do go into the laning phase, though. Snowy taking a little bit of difficulty by that help. I mean, Chernobog ult kind of lets him get back into lane for free, and if you stay to... Oh, a bit of an invade, though, coming out from the Microwave Miraculous. Good damage coming out to Azrael, forced back into his green buff, and does fall to Vintage Cow for first blood.
Yeah, wow. He was all the way up there looking for that health buff. I do not know how he got even up there.
Trying to protect this red buff now. Vintage might just be able to secure it on the Zeus. He's able to pick up that buff, but Schmitty's here. A lot of damage coming out from the Merlin, and there's a Flix around the corner. Chiron might be able to pick this one up. Good bit of CC coming out from Schmitty there, but the others should be able to walk out. Desto here now to provide a bit of help, and now turning. The Microwave Miraculous. Negative Noob falling low. Vintage credited with the second kill for his team. Two kills in 30 seconds.
2-0 on the Zeus already, and just got the red invade. Like, that was just really, really good by Microwave there.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to be terrified now seeing this up to that extent. He got the first blood, he got the bounty for that, then he got another kill and the red buff. He's going to be so far ahead of Merlin now.
Yeah, definitely. And you don't really want to be... I want a Zeus to be that far ahead, so... Kind of scary. Yeah, true.
And he's already ticked over and gotten his ult here, so I would be feeling pretty far under threat at the moment if I were this Merlin. Flicker or not, you definitely could die to a Zeus ult at this point in the game.
Yeah, Scorpion's about to come up shortly, and I wonder if the teams are going to go for the Scorpions. They're going to be a lot of gold coming through there, but Azrael just looking to invade.
Getting that invade off. Unga just used his dash. I wonder if Azrael knows. He does hear him on this one. Does he know that the health bar's low? Blink comes out. Unga instinct manages to get the root off and pull himself away from that one. That was a great play.
He's not level 5 yet.
For a moment. Unga nearly died there, man. If Azrael had just been able to avoid that root or get off a little bit more damage, he could have gotten that kill. He had the tether on him.
Yeah, good 2 by Under Instincts, getting that pin off and just being able to run away. It was very, very lucky.
Really, really good game as well, though, to be able to hear him and be able to position in a way that you could see exactly where he was, exactly that health bar, and look for that position, and potentially get that pick. So well done, and everybody else were able to look for it. Yeah,
looking at the mids here, Schmitty gonna try and secure them, and not against it. He's gonna look to fight.
Bit of a 2v1. Unga taking down the half health, and a lot of damage coming out. Zeus ult is down now, though. Unga still chasing Schmitty. So he's so low at the moment, and nobody takes just yet. Azrael still getting poked out by Vintage. This is a 2-0 Zeus. He's looking for the detonate, and he does get it.
Damage.
Another kill for Vintage Cow.
Wow. That full Warlocks is doing work. Backs got it, and just that damage. The orders was just chunking him, so
yeah,
good play.
Insane.
I don't think you can really look at that Zeus when you don't have your ult. So
I mean, they were doing so well in that fight as well. Like, they had taken Unga to such a low point in his health bar, and then just immediately Soul comes out and the fight changes.
yeah, that was just very, very good by Vintage to come over. And I don't know if there was really anything that Shell Shock could really do there. They just didn't have enough damage, didn't have their ults, and didn't have like a full item. So
Yeah,
oh,
absolutely. I feel like you've got the Merlin, you can probably secure those big camps and walk away, just focus on your farm.
yeah. But look at that. Microwave getting the Scorpion. Well done. Getting that
25
gold
seconds
early.
late. Yeah, so,
It's still good. It's still better than most OC teams, okay?
It's better than our team.
True.
Pretty standard duo lane at the moment. This is pretty much what you'd expect. Snowy is keeping this wave back exactly where he wants it, so that if Flicks pushes up too far, it'll be a nice gang stomp coming out from Chris, but I don't think he's Unga here. And there's the ultimate from the Kabrakan. Chris
Good
falling down the
ult.
half health, doesn't have a way out. He's up in the air, but it won't be in time. Falls to Unga Instinct. A beautiful kill. Nice gang from Unga there.
Very, very well timed ult there. Like, this Horus is just gonna get bullied out, I'm sorry to say. Like, have breastplate first item, like, that's just dirty. And
Yeah.
Horus is a bit rough with the Golden Blade early. Has to play safe, and yeah, just got picked.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is the chance now where Chris is going to have to start putting down some wards and keep some map awareness around him, because I don't imagine this Erlang is done in that lane just yet.
Yeah, definitely. Nothing really happening right now. I guess, yeah, I don't really know what to say. There's not really much happening.
Pretty standard early game. I would imagine that with the pressure on the map at the moment, Microwave Miracles are probably looking for an early Gold Fury. They will walk over to those Oracles and potentially pick them up.
Young Leg's just looking for the invades.
Legs is just so big on this Kabrakan already, and he's treating their jungle like it's his own, but a stun does come out from Chris. They're looking for this kill. Azriel has the tether on him at the moment. The knockup comes out as well. Yegs taking down the half health. Beads worth force. The stun comes out as well to pull him out of this one, but he might not be able to get away. The ultimate is down at the moment. Azriel whiffs his Osiris ultimate though just off the mark. Still more damage coming out. But the rest of the team is here. Unga Instinct blink in, uses that ultimate commando. Chris forced away. But the rest of the Microwave Miracles are chasing Unga, looking for that pickup. A nice knock-up out of Chris to keep himself alive. And this one, Schmitty's here now though, and the rest of the Microwave Miracles are turning negative. Noob already falls. Unga Instinct credited with that kill, but the damage all came from the Zeus.
Wow, that was just interesting. Young Lex was just going in the back looking for farm and got caught out, and then
under this tower poked. Yeah, it looks like it won't turn into a kill.
Yeah, that was a little bit of shift fighting there. It was just, I think they should have just let Young Lex go as soon as they got the stun off, but they just kept chasing, and it just turned real nasty. But I might be looking at the Gold Fury here.
Yes, those Microwave Miracles are going to look at this Gold Fury. Flick potentially out of position. He knows this is happening, but he doesn't know how many people are here. Good dash to get himself out of this one, but still chasing is Unga's Instinct. Off the mark was the root. Either way, the cleanse was available though.
Yeah, that was...
Maybe not pulling the Gold Fury.
Well, they're pretty far ahead.
Oh, Young Legs low under this tower commander. Chris credited with the kill. Barely any health to his name, but he does get it. Man, I wish we'd seen how that happened, but I mean, a really good counter kill there for Chris. He really needed that one after how this lane has been going. And
Yeah,
I mean, after that shit fight in the jungle as well, you wouldn't expect him to be able to pick up that kill.
I take it back. He is not washed. He soloed Young Legs, and it was really close. But yeah, well done, Chris.
Do not lie.
It's a good solo kill.
We saw Azriel down inside of that Microwave Miracle jungle, just looking for those invades again. He's got good knowledge, and he's obviously got the timers set for when that's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if Vintage and Unga rotate to the next one and try to punish him for it.
Yeah, definitely. I'd really like to see the Microwave look for invades as well. Like, Azriel looking for evades, I think is a bit risky for him. And I feel like they should just go for their open camps and just play it safe for now. But
yeah, absolutely. With their team so far behind, it's surprising that he's even able to get into that side of the jungle and look for it, but credit to him, I guess.
Yeah, it's got big balls, so yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Negative Noob on his way over here, potentially looking for Snowy. Flix is playing back in this one at the moment though, and Jumbo is a very safe pick. Dashes out of that one and probably won't be picked up.
Yeah, there's not really much you can do when a Chernobog can just dash into a wall and just play it safe, so And I don't think you really want the Baron to be coming over and looking for a...
Now potentially in a lot of trouble. The slow coming out from Desto. Gold Fury was leashed onto negative noob as well. He's taking poke from that one. Does fall down to half health, and the Zeus is still here to chunk out damage. Chernobog up in the air and down he comes. Looking for flicks now as well. Negative noob gets up into the Baron ult. Oh, and he is not able to pick up the Chernobog. Into the wall he goes. Negative noob will fall here. Desto credited with that kill. And another one. 6 and... Oh, Young Legs. 2v1 under his T1 tower. Okay, my bud. 7 and 1 for DMMM.
Okay, let's talk about left first. Actually, let's talk about the
Gold
Fury.
Fury picked up and secured by the microwave miracles as well. Go on.
Very, very well done by getting that Gold Fury, getting the 2 kills and then going straight to gold. Very, very well played there. But the left side, that were really, really good comms there. I feel like we didn't hear them obviously, but they're trying to get flicks there and try to get both the kills, but they just get the Baron, which is fine. They're trying to get both, and if they get both, that's really, really good. But yeah, that solo fight over there, it was, yeah. Chris, I guess, just got a little bit greedy and didn't know that towers actually do that much damage to you now. So.
Yeah, 2022 Chris Towers really chunk, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's kind of unlucky there. Old patch, you probably would be able to go revive that.
You probably get the kill there, and the Pyromancer off the back of it.
Yeah, and Kraken 3 is so annoying when you get under the tower and you just try to get out. So
I think Cabra a great pick in this meta at the moment, quite safe onto that flick. Managing to get the invade off onto that purple buff there. Desto in the area, but probably won't be able to punish that one. Good play from Chris there.
yeah.
Meanwhile, this is the invade we were looking for. Ungu Instinct looking for that Scorpion. He is being punished for it at the moment though. Chris got a lot of poke off there. Ungu Instinct falling low. The Erlang ult is available. We're going to get out of this one, although Schmitty around the corner. Young Legs here now trying to peel for his jungler. Unga out of the way. Young Legs now though trapped in a huge Zeus ultimate rips into the entirety of Shell Shock. Big damage, Schmitty falls and they're not done. Young Legs still looking for the kill. Snowy's here now as well. The Chernobog ult came down. Commando Chris falling low and Vintage still doing damage. Negative noob goes down a double kill. And another one from Snowy still looking for Azrael. And they're on the side of the map with an objective. Pyromancer pulled by the Microwave Miraclers. 10 and 1 on the board. Pyromancer secured. What a Zeus ult.
Yeah, Microwave Miracles just literally grouping up perfectly. Just they knew Ungu was in trouble, instantly came over, and that Zeus ult and the Cab 2 stun was just amazing.
Absolutely, you just can't fight in such an enclosed space like that. You know, that Fire Giant pit when you're against the Zeus. There's just no way to get yourself out of it, and we saw the punish come out there, the massive Zeus ult, 4 people inside of it. And then, you know, everyone's running away from the Kraken. It's a pretty hard thing to do.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to say, I have not seen this hell do anything this game. I don't know if it's just me, but I guess just healing.
There's the stats, let's have a look. Healing, 2200, that's respectable for it.
That's not too bad, but I feel like this comp is just situated for the Kraken and the healing. And yeah, it's just funny to me.
Maybe the hell is like I mean, it's a good pickup to try to get off the, you know, the cleanse for the Baron, all that sort of stuff. So
yeah,
potentially
true.
just looking to be a facilitator for the rest of the team.
Yeah.
But you're right, I would have liked to have seen potentially another mage. You know, we've seen a lot of the Nox, we've seen a lot of the E-set, and they both provide a fair bit, and I think would do a lot in the team as well.
Yeah, E-set was banned though, but yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, plenty of other gods you could definitely play.
Absolutely.
But
maybe
5K...
it's just slow into Zeus ult is enough for them though.
Yeah, true. 5k lead coming out from Microwave Miracles, and they're 10 and 1. Like, this is a pretty big stomp, I feel like.
Doesn't look like they're going to slow down anytime soon either. A lot of pressure in this mid lane. Vinny now 2 levels up on Schmitty. Scorpion is secured for DMMM. But now going to cause it much easier than anything else.
DMMM, that is good.
Best that I've got. It's what it says though.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the Zeus build. You don't really see a Chiron's coin, really. You just see the Warlocks, and then you kind of see like a cooldown or like some high damage, and then you get an orb shard. But you're seeing the Chiron's coin here. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm surprised that he didn't go for more penetration or a little bit more power earlier, as we see. A bit of a rotation over the legs. He should be just fine though.
Oh, blanket in the middle.
Looks like we'll get the ult off on Schmitty, and a lot of damage coming out still as well. This Zeus is massive, just rips through Schmitty. Not going to be soon enough, and that T1 tower is so low. Looks like the rest of DMMM though Going to opt to walk over to the jungle, maybe look for a red buff invade instead. No, potentially trying to gank Flicks. This is a bit of an interesting grouping here. Azrael knows that this is happening. The red buff is spawning, and potentially a good opportunity to catch someone out here. They're playing very aggressive in this side of the field. Like going back to the flag instead.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't ward over there. Ward over to the red buff, but I guess they're just looking at this mid tower and just want to get it down.
It looks like they've got it down here as well. Young Lake coming over with the rotation too. Just back now that they've secured that tower. Playing it pretty safe with the Gold Fury spawning soon. Probably looking to get everyone grouped up on this side of the map to secure it.
Yeah, definitely. This God Fury will be big for them, and they can easily get this God Fury and look at a Fire Giant straight away, because I think they have enough damage to easily do it with this Zeus 5-0.
A bit of poke there from Desto. Look how aggressively the Zeus is playing. In what world are you allowed to play Zeus that aggressively near the Gold Fury when none of your team is around except for a Hell?
Yeah, and
That's
Destiny's just
ridiculous.
doing this, like, he's doing the right thing, just staying around Vintage on the Zeus and just keeping him alive, and it's perfect.
That's all you need to do at this point.
Yeah.
I would imagine here now, Snowy rotating up towards this Gold Fury. It should be picked up. A good bit of an Oni Fury to sort of facilitate the attempt at the Fire Giant shortly. Ori's looked at for a second there. Probably just waiting to get over. Oh, a big grouping onto this right side of the map for Shell Shocked. Might be looking for Young Legs as a trade-off for the Gold Fury. Potentially to set up for a Pyro after the fact. Azrael's here. Negative 2, looking for some CC. Isn't able to lock it down. Cabraca movement speed is ridiculous, man. He is just gone. And this
Yeah, the
Gold Fury
Baron
is
3 doesn't
low.
affect it.
Just no contest here. Unga able to zone out Flick very comfortably. The Oni Fury goes down, and I mean, look look at where Legs is, bro. He's wrapped all the way around the back of them, and now he's looking for an engage. Schmitty manages to get the flicker off, but not far enough. Beats and Aegis forced out the Horus ult. He is up in the air. The Baron ult coming out as well.
Oh,
Now Legs
no.
Schmitty 1 health, and it's not going to be enough. He won't survive this one. Chris off the mark, looking to try and peel for his team, but I doubt he'll be able to do it for long. He does get the knock up there, but Unga chasing, and negative noob falls as well. Commando Chris surrounded by 3, and it won't be, too long before he falls. A double kill for Young Legs. Pyromancer spawning, Fire Giant right there. Azrael close, but probably not going to be able to stop this one.
All I saw there was negative noob rang the Cabraca towards the Mel, and Cabraca just bees and just went on the Mel, and just bring him close
He was
enough.
just going for it.
Yeah, like, well done by Young Legs, just to
Legs
keep following.
in, looking for Azrael, trying to keep him zoned away from this Fire Giant. It's going to be a struggle for an Osiris to steal this one. He opts to walk away, giving it up. D-Triple-M securing the first Fire Giant of the game. 17 minutes, 25 seconds. Wow.
By the way, they did not have Snowy over there. Snowy isn't left, just farm it up.
Just
And
get selling.
yeah, and Vintage got the full stacks of Karen Coin, and like, he's just got so much damage right now,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
holy crap.
That is not a Zeus that I want to encounter in my game this game. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I would really like to see the Zeus ban next game, because it is a menace.
Yeah, he's definitely putting on a clinic on this one, and I think that I would, I don't know, man, like, Zeus I think is such an easy god to punish in the early game. It's just unfortunate that he got such a good early lead, but, you know, I would love to be able to see in the next game, even potentially letting him pick the Zeus again, and potentially counter-picking it, getting something like a Gabrack, maybe Emoja or something like that, that can trap the Zeus in and really punish this sort of aggressive playstyle that he's playing on this.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you just gotta try and just shut down that Zeus, because, yeah, you just don't want this to happen again, and the only real answer if you don't have one is just to ban it, so, but yeah, Snowy.
Oh, Snowy
Opting
ulted
in.
in. He's surrounded by 2. Flicks is there, able to get a bit of damage, not too far behind, but does fall down to half health. Snowy looking for the kill, dashes in. Might be able to kill Flicks here. Negative noob using that ultimate to try to peel, and Flicks forced to use that Aegis as well, barely living. Negative noob trapped inside of the Tremors. It is going to fall, while the rest of D-Triple-M look for this T1 tower. Shell Shock forced back into their T2, probably going to go straight back to the Phoenix. Unga in mid lane at the moment. Poke onto Schmitty. A good bit of damage coming out from Chris there though. Gets the slow off. They might be able to kill Unga here and create a bit of space for the team, but Vintage is here now. Blink coming out from Azrael to keep him alive. Unga uses the ultimate as well to protect himself. Chris Blink in looking for Vintage. Beast forced in there. Zeus ultimate as well. Nobody inside of that one. Really, really good force out of Shell Shock there to keep a little bit of the pressure coming off, but they need to pull back now. There's still 2 members of D-Triple-M, 3 members of D-Triple-M, sorry, near their Phoenix, and this is a rough position to be in now. Flicks, Cabraca off the mark from Young Legs. Flicks is very lucky to be alive right now.
Let's take a
They can
really good
this Phoenix.
split push here.
This is a horror assault though. This is a huge play going straight to
Oh.
the trebuchet. Could be good. Azriel's got the tethers onto 3 at the moment, but in comes the rotation. Vintage Cow in the back. Gets off a huge chunk of damage. Unga instant credited with kill. Snowy gets another one as well. Commando Chris falling. Young Legs blinks in. Negative Noob. The target this time. Snowy gets the ultimate down and looking for Azriel. There's a good bit of damage coming out from the Phoenix, but it's not going to be enough. And the trebuchets are battling it out at the moment as well.
Wow, like
Down falls
that-
left Phoenix, and looks like they're looking for Flicks and then the Titan.
yeah, that's game right there. Wow, but good. I reckon that was a good horror assault. Like, there's nothing really else to do. You just may as well just go in there, see if you can get a kill, and like you're pretty far behind, so you may as well
Definitely
just...
the right play, looking for the right targets. You know, it's definitely a surprise play. The other team might not be ready for it. You've got the tether from the Osiris there. Could have worked out. Unfortunately, it didn't. And our game 1 is going to go to Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles.
GG's.
GG's indeed. Pretty keen to see some of these stats though. But how about we shoot it off to the casters to get their opinion from that first game, boys? What do you think?
It was something, and despite it being quite a stomp, I did kind of enjoy it. I liked that Shell Shock they still put up a fight and they still tried to like make something happen, even from behind. They still tried to make some engagements. They tried to pressure sides of the map, and that's what you want to see, even from that much of a deficit. Obviously, you know, some things need to be given up. And by no means perfect play, but it wasn't just a rollover and loss, even though it appears that way. What do you reckon, Lath?
Yeah, it kind of all really snowballed a bit with Vintage in middle lane, didn't it? Like 3 pretty early kills. Unger unfortunately getting away twice there. At least unfortunate for the boys at Shell Shocked with a relatively low health. From what I thought was some pretty good engages. So yeah, sometimes it comes off, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, you're right. It's good to see him not roll over and just kind of put up a fight.
Yeah, for sure. So it ended up being the Hell Sup, which I mean, in a stomp like that, you know, not too much to say. You can't really say it was bad or it was good. I mean, how much healing did it end up doing? 5.4k. But in a game that, if a game like that would have been a lot closer, I think you could start seeing the Hell support become a bit more lackluster.
Yeah, I mean, more healing than damage, which is always pretty much what you want to be looking at for the health support. So I mean, 5k, pretty decent. You know, it mitigated the entirety of one character off the other side. So yeah, I think the health support was okay here. It was really kind of just all eyes on the middle lane for me. Once that Zeus got off and running, and Legs just being a pest most of the game, which is what I do love to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Just
I will say, I said before that game started that I think a lot of this game really comes down to just how patient this Merlin was. And we saw at one point there when they were chasing Legs through the jungle, and then he popped up in middle lane behind the Merlin, and Merlin just instantly flickered to the opposite side of the Cabrakan, which meant that that's just a free ult from Cab, and got both relics out of the Merlin, and then he just died. So yeah, I do think that maybe a little bit more patience from Schmitty in the middle lane next game if he's running a pick like this Merlin, but yeah, it was kind of across the board win for Desto's team.
Yeah, I agree. The snowball kind of started too early, which I think was what Azrael was kind of trying to avoid in his when he was talking with us in his interview. But we can head into the picks and bans now of game 2. So I'll work on getting that sorted. Here we go, and it's a Khepri ban. We see first, pretty standard. Not really a change up from last time.
Yeah, your Mojo ban as well, so just getting those 2 supports off the table early. I'm not too sure if there's anything in the draft that Shell Shock really need to account for from game 1. I think like their team at the end of the day was okay. I think the other team was okay.
Yeah, I think it more so came down to play. They banned churn this time, so that's a change. It's a change to last time. I don't think the churn did a whole lot, but it's still a good pick. So
I think we saw Chernobog mostly ulting back to lane, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, no, he made a few good ults, sort of to the solo side. So it helps, I guess, not having to face that character. They banned Chiron too, which is weird. A pick they just played. I guess them picking it first game and banning it second game makes me think that they think Microwave Miracles want to pick Chiron and they don't want to burst it. But either way, we
Yeah.
see Jingwei first picked.
Yeah, decent win rate to games played. 66% win rate to 9 games played.
Yeah, we see so many different picks first picked. We haven't seen Jingwei first picked a lot, but she still is very much so a worthy first pick in ADC. And a response of Yu Huang and Osiris hovered right now. I believe they will be locked in though. I liked the Osiris. Again, I prefer to see it in solo. It was jungle last game, and I I don't think it looked amazing from my perspective. There were definitely a few whiffed ults. They were close to a few picks, especially on legs, but I think that you bring out the character's strengths more in solo. Just building in full damage and him just sticking to people. Yu Huang picked two, just a nice high priority mage. Bit of a
Yeah,
change
good.
up from the hunter mid.
Yeah, I do like the Yu Huang.
And the E sets, being hovered, locked. So that could either go mid or sub, but I would think that's sub. And the Ratataska, which I think would be legs. I'm pretty sure will be legs.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely a legs pick. He loves the rat. He's been running it a little bit. He's getting some good practice in on it, so it's got to be going to him. And yeah, probably that E set support too. I think we're looking at double major support this game, with the Nox also being locked in on the other side.
Yeah, I mean both have really good utility. I don't know who I would value more. I guess it depends on the comp and the player. It has a lot to do with the player. But either way,
Yeah.
ban's coming out. Zeus, I'm happy with that ban for Shell Shocked. I mean,
Yep.
Vintage can play a lot of things, but it's never bad to just ban what did really well in the game before. And then Rama Ula, just two center picks, which I think they're trying to target flicks with, and Cleo ban for Shell Shock.
Yeah. Well,
Another standard.
Darji picked up straight after that second phase bans, followed by Cthulhu Kamazots. And now this one has to be the Cthulhu mid. There's no way this isn't Cthulhu mid.
100%. I mean, we're seeing Kama. I mean, which, to be fair, could also go mid. Kama and Rat are both like very much gods. I would see legs on. Although I'm still going with the Rat for the solo and the Kama for jungle. I'm
Yep,
excited
I
to see
agree.
this Cthulhu though, and he definitely will not care about Darji Cupid. That's
Yep.
for sure.
I absolutely refuse to believe that this is not a Cthulhu mid. I'm very and if it is, I'm very excited to see this. This is what I was expecting that we'd be seeing out of Vintage, from that first game. So, and I mean, Guardian's kind of really strong, especially with that Ragnar's Mask, especially in carry roles. And yeah, he doesn't really care a lot about what a lot of this Shell Shock team wants to do, ultimate wise. So, pretty strong pick in my opinion.
For sure. I don't have a lot to say on this Darji Cupid pick. Maybe comfort picks. Darji can pull E-set. She doesn't have a CC Munol, but apart from that, it might be hard to, get pulls on people. You might have to force some things out beforehand. They do have a nice speeds burn comp. Either way though, which comp do you prefer last? Ignoring the players, ignoring the pilots.
If it's a Cthulhu mid, I 100% prefer the order side comp.
I don't mind the I don't mind Shell Shock's comp, but yeah, I do prefer Microwave Miracles comps. They have some really strong picks right now. So we'll get into the game either way and get the casters back in and give us their thoughts as we're about to head in.
Thank you very much for that, boys. Once again, I am Dicelot and I'm joined by Galilith
Hello.
for this cast of Game of 2 for Desto's 10-minute Microwave Miracles versus Shell Shocked, and definitely some interesting picks here. I like the Cthulhu, and I do hope the Vintage takes it into mid, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, that would be very, very fun to watch. And this Cthulhu pick is really, really nice as well. Just doesn't care about the Dodgy and Cupid. But I did like Shellshock's top 3 picks: the Hugh Wang, the Cyrus, the Nox. I thought that was really, really good. But the last 2 picks are kind of questionable. I guess they're, yeah, like Nan said, they were comfortable picks. But
Yeah.
I'd like to see how they're going to be played.
We are into the game here by the looks of it.
Oh my god, big vintage cow on the Cthulhu. Lath was
We'll
right.
love to see it. Rangers or Fighter's Mask. Is it Fighter's Mask to begin with? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Cool. Fighter's Mask on the Cthulhu. Obviously, the increased damage that you do, but taking a fair bit more damage as well. And you could be punished for this, but Cthulhu feels like such a strong god to put it on and go ham. And look what he's doing. He's either warding or he's looking to get off some poke in the early game. But I mean,
Once
there are
that top
4
damage.
members of Shell Shock there.
Yeah, that is very, very scary. But
With a Fighter's Mask as well, there's a good chance you get punished for that one.
yeah, currently got paused, so we're just gonna wait it out a little bit. So just take your time, patience. But
Interesting though, Unga on the rat this time. Sorry, on the rat where we were kind of expecting it to go towards Young Legs. It was instead on the Camazots. So a bit more standard picks here than kind of what I was expecting for this team.
yeah, I feel like the rat solo would have been a little bit better. Because it's like the Soul Eater and then the what's it called, the Acorn that lets you tank more or be tankier. Is really, really good, and you don't really see much Camazots in the solo, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see it up against the Osiris, and it's going to be Osiris solo as well. Commander Chris on it, so
Yeah, it
signature
looks
pick.
like running it back potentially. I mean, you do get a good bit of value out of the Osiris into the Camazots here as well. Being able to obviously completely reduce the healing off of Camazot's passive is just insane to be able to do. Issues there, but we should be back live now. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Someone's PC crashed. Wasn't Dice Arts.
Wasn't mine.
Couldn't have been. Hopefully it will not take too long for us to get back into the game here. What were we talking about though? Aggressive solo lane is the Osiris and the Camazots. It'll be interesting to see which one is able to sort of take the lead in the early game. And I mean, I think it'll be down to whichever jungler is going to come into there and apply the pressure.
Yeah, definitely. I see a level 2 game coming out. But it's going to be very interesting to see how that lane goes. I feel like Camazots would probably be a bit more of a bully and can probably heal more, but Osiris can just poke so far away, so be very,
I
very
mean,
interesting.
look as well. Like if I'm looking at a Cthulhu with a Rangers mask as well, Finder's mask, I might be as the jungler looking to kind of focus all of my pressure onto that Cthulhu and trying to get a kill there instead of going over to the solo lane.
Yeah, definitely. The Camazots, like once they hit level 5, it's going to be hard to kill. Same with Osiris. So I think looking at this Cthulhu, even the Yuang, so yeah, you won't be seeing
Yeah,
much in solo.
you
It'll be
you
just mainly in the middle, I feel.
Yuhang definitely a hard one to kill. I mean, I guess Cthulhu is kind of hard to kill as well. It depends on how he starts and how he's going to position. So I don't know. I don't know where the pressure is going to go to.
Alright, just give
Yeah.
us 10 seconds while I restart Discord, and then we'll get right back into the game.
Okay.
Apologies for the technical difficulties. It is very quiet, everyone. I hope you're enjoying this. Don't worry. I believe there was a pause anyway, so we'll be able to skip through that, which is nice. Right, back in. Audio check. We certainly are. Yeah, I'm working on it. uh, just keep talking, dice.
That's what
There
I
we
did
go.
there.
It should be good now.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, as we see, Young Legs taking a lot of poke into that one, is going to be able to get back under his tower, but Commando Chris dominating this lane at the moment, and both junglers rotating back into mid now. Even more poke coming out onto the legs there. He's able to get a heal off, so he should be able to stay alive under that tower, but any bad positioning here could get him killed. Meanwhile, Azrael on his right camps and Destiny falling very low here. Negative Noob looking for the pressure onto that pick. Azrael in the mid lane is going on everywhere at the moment. Vintage damage out onto Azrael now too. Level 3 on this Cthulhu. Azrael able to dash back to his team though. Meanwhile, Flick's in a lot of trouble. Shell
Good
was
Shell.
forced out. Snowy is going to be in a good position to get some more poke off here. Destiny on the E set, able to do some damage to Flick there and force him back under the tower. Spirit Bomb, oh, Spirit Ball, Jesus, on the mark there, poking out Flicks. Kind of what you expect from this lane as well, I guess. Like, Cupid's clear is not ideal, Nox is clear, unless you're getting it directly on the minions every time, not ideal.
Yeah, very, very rough to clear from
See,
this.
D-Triple-M, that invade on red buff, but in the meantime, a blue buff invade from Shell Shock, so a bit of a trade-off there, but I mean, if D-Triple-M are able to secure the purple buff as well, then it's definitely going to go in their own favour.
Yeah, very well played by D-Triple-M. Looking at Destiny here.
So, not quite poked out of this one just yet. There's a big grouping on this side of the map, so Shell Shock have to be really careful how they position. If they go up too far, they could be punished pretty hard for what happens here.
Yeah, but Azrael, just looking at the farm, backing very, very scary back here. Could get blinked on or...
Unga
Oh,
isn't
Unga.
able to pick that one up, and he does lose his speed buff there, so I would argue even favourable trade there for Shell Shock. Losing that speed buff is very detrimental in the early game to the jungler. Makes it very hard to rotate around the map and pick up your camp. So nice play coming out from Shell Shock, and a heads up, bit of a movement there from Azrael, knowing for a fact that that Unga was on the other side of the map looking at that purple buff and red buff.
Yeah, just very, very well played. If he did not go for the evade there, then D-Triple-M would have just had a really, really good lead. So, all played by him.
So we're pretty much in an even game at the moment. A little bit of a lead at the moment for Shell Shock, actually. 200 gold thereabouts, but as we see, these oracles going down likely even out even further. So you love to see this. So a nice, clean, even game, good fades from both sides, good pressure throughout all of the lanes. You know, distributed evenly. So it will be quite interesting to see who goes for it. Once again, Azrael invading these back camps. Unga is just not able to get here on time, and the Darjig actually has really good movement through the jungle, and shockingly, she has a speed buff, and Unga doesn't. So of course you're going to get there before the other jungler.
Yeah, it's very, very well played by Azrael. Like, just going for the invades and not even caring if Unga's there, and hopefully he hits level 5 before Ratatoska.
Absolutely, as we see the dash come out from the Cthulhu and a little bit of poke. Schmitty falls up into the air and he might have punished for that one. Still poke coming down, and Vintage does so much damage. Schmitty taken down to half health. And again, another invade. Commando Chris stealing this blue buff, and I don't think there's going to be punished for it this time, as Shell Shocked are going to go even further into the lead. Maybe Unga looks for this red buff, but he's already down to half health. Negative Noob knows that he's there around this corner. Vintage picks up the mid camp. Unga takes a lot of poke for this one. Schmitty gets the ult up, but it isn't going to be enough. A nice dash gets Unga out of the way of that one. There is now an E set here as well as Desto rotates into mid, but Azrael off the back of this one on the right side, potentially able to get out the poke. Nice job to get away from Desto's Spirit Ball there and able to poke out Vintage at the same time. This is a completely different Shell Shock than what we saw in game 1. Invades are coming out, poke is coming out. They're doing fantastically this time around.
Yeah, very, very well played by them. They're just really, really confident now, and Azrael just looking for these invades, and he's doing really, really well at it. Like, D-Triple-M just can't do anything.
Risky. There are two here while the rest of his team are picking up their red buff. Spirit Ball comes down and it looks like, yeah, they will secure that one with the circle of protection from the E set. Big ult down though.
Yeah, that's fine. I would take that for a red buff for an ult. Like, that
Happy
is.
with that.
Yeah, happy with that.
Especially the E set ult. We do see Scorpion being picked up though for Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles, and you need that. Oh, not completed though. Had to back. He nearly died to the Scorpo there.
Oh, negative move just go down.
Yikers.
Oh.
I would have paid good money to have seen Unga die to that one there.
Yeah, that would have been funny, but yeah, just like hasn't been able to farm much because just gets invaded. just wants to get that Scorpion, but you just can't do it this early. You kind of need help. But...
You need someone on that one with you, and after what we saw in the mid lane and the poke that came out, you know, towards and from everybody, it's really, really hard to be able to secure that in that scenario.
Yeah, if Shellshock keep this up, they're gonna be really, really like comfortable in this game.
I think Shellshock now, like they've had really good invades. We see Chris again, you know, rotating into the jungle here, potentially looking for the blue buff invade, but Shellshock really, really need to do something with this. Get some more pressure, steal a Scorpion, steal some more cans, like do something with what you've got here. But instead we see everybody going to their own camps, and finally Young Legs is going to pick up his own blue buff this game.
Yeah, previously Commander Chris soloed the blue buff, before that it was invaded from who's Azriel. So yeah, finally gets to be able to do something in lane, and meanwhile we're just going to be updating the the titles, so you guys know who we're talking about and who's on win who's soon. Okay, let's see these builds. Okay, we gotta talk about this Jigway build. Bloodforge first item. A bit of a pricey pickup, and you don't really see it ever. So, what do you think about that? The Bloodforge on the Jingwei.
Yeah, I didn't know that Tiger Mask was playing this game, and already really is. Up goes Azriel, looking for a bit of damage here. Vintage Cow goes up into Cthulhu while doing a lot of damage himself, and he's able to pick up Schmitty in the meantime. Damage coming down onto Azriel. This Cthulhu is absolutely ripping damage out, and Circle Pretension comes down, but it might not be enough. A good shell coming out from Negative Noob to keep Azriel alive, but First Blood going to D-Triple-M. It was actually Snowy that picked it up. What?
Yeah, Snowy just got an auto up, I'm pretty sure, and just got it, but I guess, yeah. No, I guess the Bloodforge really did work there.
It really did work, you got the heal from it, so how... Anyway. Yeah, this Cthulhu was just doing so much damage. The Fighter's Mask just chunks. Now he's got the Bancrofts online as well, so a little bit less punished for the extra damage that he takes. He can lifesteal some more of that back up.
Do you think he'll upgrade that Bancrofts into, I don't know what the item's called, but the one that gives healing or a shield or something?
Yeah, to one of the glyphs. There's a good chance that he does do that. Maybe wait a little bit, though. It's not a great item to have in the early game. I think you'd prefer to have a bit of pen or a bit of CDR or something a bit earlier.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, I mean, why not? New glyphs in the game. Pick them up. If you're going to play Cthulhu in mid, you might as well make it spicy, I reckon.
Yeah, indeed.
So we're still seeing Shellshock though, even after that first fighter, about 500 gold up, so still a pretty even game, but I don't see that lasting long. Azriel is looking for this invade, but he's now a level down from trying to invade so often, and Unga finally picking up his own farm again.
Yeah, it gets that sneaky little ward there as well, looking at the backhands to see what the timers are. And I don't know if you got those timers, but Young Legs looking really, really low.
Again, low under his tower. Commando Chris is absolutely dominating this lane, and we see the value of the Osiris in the early against a god like the Kamazot, who just cannot walk out of his tower, and maybe Chris is looking for the dive now as well. As we see him mid at the moment, Schmitty goes up to the air, gets that immunity off, but he might not last for long, and yeah, Legs was low under that tower.
Schmitty with the ult as well.
Came out, not able to pick anyone up off the back of it.
Yeah, kind of just using it to just get them away from him.
I mean, he's alive, and now there is a Trebuchet in mid too. The MVP, Gus himself. Azriel behind at the moment, though, looking for a poke onto Unga Instinct. Unga able to dash out, but Azriel right behind, up onto the power layer. He goes, able to pull the rat, but not fast enough. Up into the air goes Cody, and down he goes as well, looking for damage. Vintage Cow in the area as well, trying to get off poke, but the Trebuchet is in the way, and bit of a hard one to be able to get past
with the rotation.
So he's here, and he's looking for damage, and here's the Cupid ult. Up into the sky goes the Cthulhu, and such a huge fire going on at the moment. Vintage Cow forced even lower. Commando Chris able to chase under this tower. Vintage Cow 1 health, and down he goes. Commando Chris credited with that kill, and the Trebuchet still here, just chunking health bars.
Wow, that was actually really, really good by Shellshock. Came all together with the Trebuchet. Got a kill out of it. It was a little bit sloppy. I don't know if I would have done that, but they are just looking very, very confident, and that's what you need.
They had everything they needed there. They had the Cupid ult, they had the Osiris there for the chase down. You know, the E-set ult meant literally nothing there because Cthulhu was already so low from diving.
Yeah.
It's just a great play. The power layer was fantastic as well at the start of that to bait them deeper. Like, you know, oh, that was your ult's down, you should chase us. No, if there's an Osiris behind you and a Cupid ult now, you shouldn't have chased us.
Yeah, but I would have liked to see maybe a Pyromancer or a Gold Fury look at there, but Yeah, that's the thing. It's fine just to group up, but actually talking about that now.
To pull commitment on this one alongside Azriel, and I don't think there's anyone close enough to stop this.
Yeah, they don't even know about it.
No, they don't. Ungu is electing to pick up his back camps, and this is a free Pyromancer, shell-shocked. Right now, ahead a couple hundred gold and picking up the first objective of the game. That's huge.
That's very big. Getting that Pyromancer, like, not, like, D-triple-M not even knowing about it is very, very big. The little sneaky Pyromancer after that kill in middle.
It was surprising as well because they didn't go directly to it after that far. Unga. Oh, buddy, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Please don't. Oh, my lord.
That time he knew.
He calculated that time. The amount of lies I've seen lost 2 Scorpions in this game is ridiculous, and I just do not want to see it in this match.
Yes, definitely. That would have been so funny if he actually died there, but
Yep.
oh well, maybe next time.
We would have loved. I don't think he would have. As we see Chris continue to dominate this lane, a level up on Youngleg. Still able to get the poke off. Youngleg's falling down to half health already. Shouldn't die here. Gets a good heal off, but oh my god, he continues to be poked down. If Chris wants to hard him into this, he probably gets the kill.
Yeah, but like Youngleg just has the healing, and they're just gonna be doing this like all the time. Just and Chris also has double physical protections, and it's just gonna be real annoying. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very hard position to fight into. You know, Chris probably unkillable at this point, but equally as unkillable as the Camazotz with the ultimate available.
Yeah, Vintage Cal just being super aggressive in middle as well. Not even caring about Smitty and just looking to poke him out.
Looks like Chris this time taking the front of negative 2, and a bit of trouble getting through, will deconnect, and Vintage still playing aggressively as well. Schmitty goes up into the air, gets the off. Meanwhile, the rest of D-Triple-M are looking towards the Gold Fury, but Azrael came over to the solo lane, and down goes on the Instinct onto Flix. Is able to get the Cupid ult off, but not in time. Good bit of poke onto Unga, but Flix is already dead. And the Gold Fury is going to be pulled by D-Triple-M.
Yeah, it's just bad positioning. Oh, it's not even bad positioning, it's just really good game from Instincts. Just looking at a pick, and they get the God Fury for free here.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, Vintage going hard, going deep, looking for anything that he can at the moment. Taking a fair bit of poke in return, but not as much as you'd expect from a Cthulhu with fighters in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Vintage
as well. Good bit of healing there for him.
Yeah, lots of healing. You kind of want that from a Gunny in the middle, I'd say. Just a lot of healing, so you can actually be able to stay in the lane more often and not get poked out. And the glyph as well being upgraded by Vintage Cow. It's, I don't know what to actually call it, but it's the one that gives shields when you have damage or put out damage. I forget what it does.
Yes, I was definitely listening.
Okay, just the glyph on the Vintage Cow. I don't know what it actually does. I don't know if it's...
Get a cameraman to hover it for us.
Yeah, you can read it because you weren't paying attention.
Yeah, very cool. Stack of hunger.
Yeah, it's just damage.
It is damage.
Magical
That's
power.
pretty good to be able to pick up on that Cthulhu at this point. Being able to go up into the ult and just rip through people with that one is actually a pretty good pickup. So.
Yeah, I've seen it before on other gods, and it's really nasty and really OP.
I think at this point, like, Shell Shocked really need to make sure that they've got some anti-heal to do with this team comp now. You've got the Camazotz with the fully stacked Soul Eater. You've got this Cthulhu who has Soul Gem into that, Bancroft into that Soul Gem. Bloodforge on the Jingwei. I mean, you just need to be able to have so much anti-heal if you win these fights. Meanwhile, though, Snowy forced under his tower, nearly killed by Flix there, and there's the pressure going on for that. Siege, though, he's dashing onto Azrael, and there's a rat ult there as well. A lot of chase here, and Azrael's not going to get out of this one. Doesn't even get up to the tower layer. Vintage Cow credited with that kill, and Chris still under his tower being poked out by Younglegs right now. This healing on the Camazotz is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what happens when you just have any anti-heal against the Camazotz, and just D-Triple-M as well, like, just have so much healing, like you said, and they need to get, like, an Unk or just some sort of anti-heal. So I'd hope...
At the back of his tower being chased down at the moment, and gets forced out, and there's the Circle of Protection, might be able to pick this one up.
Good ult.
Comes down.
Oh.
There's Vintage Cow blink in on the picking up that kill.
Wow.
Boy, they are chasing deep today.
Yeah, this Schmitty's just unlucky today. Like, there's nothing he can really do. He's just getting dove by Vintage and the whole gang, and not really much he can do.
This is the hard thing about picking up the youth one here, though. Like, he's decent pick, he's got a nice bit of immunity on him, but it's so predictable exactly what you're doing. As long as you bite the bullet and get up into the air, everyone knows exactly where you're going to land, and you're not getting there fast either. So it's very, very obvious what you're going to do, and it's very easy to punish for it.
Yeah, and he's not a safeguard at all. Like, sure, you can go up in the air, but like you said, it's
Azriel looking to punish Snowy on this purple buff in bait. Snowy dashes out, uses the Jaegers here. Azriel going up into the power, looking for the pickup here. Snowy uses phase and Vintage Cow goes up into the ultimate, looking for a bit of damage on Flicks. Azriel did manage to pull one person, but it was only Desto here and potentially out of position. Snowy still around, but too low to do anything. Dashing out is Azriel. Flicks though potentially in trouble now as the Vintage Cow turns on him. Spirit Ball off the mark and a nice bit of poke coming out onto Vintage to trade that one off and disengage, no kills on that one.
well, that is absolutely fine. Azure was a bit unlucky there. Just I think he almost probably would have died, but good disengage from Shell Shock there, and yeah, no kills is fine. Like, I feel like that they are.
Commando Chris is here, uses the ultimate to try to pick him up on off the mark. Unga stopped and went straight up into the air, so the Osiris ult.
Yeah,
now Pyromancer being looked at this time again by Shell Shocked. Actually, they love this Pyromancer play.
Yeah, but like, there's no wards on the Fire Giant, and they know that no one's coming. So yeah, it's just free.
Killed by Shell Shocked and trying desperately to keep themselves in this game and keep the farm up where they can. Meanwhile, Gold Fury sure to be spawning soon. Vintage Cow now level 15 on this Cthulhu, and we do see a 1300 gold lead in favour of DMM at the moment. Not actually that much for the map state that we're in at the moment. Flicks dashes, Snowy looking for the damage, isn't able to get it off. Flicks turning. Does fall down quite low, half health now. 2 levels down on this Cupid, could be a risky position to be in.
Yeah, Snowy up 3 items as well, while Flix only has 2, so kind of risky from Flix there.
Terrifying position to be in, especially
Terrifying.
with
I'm
that
trembling over here.
Hey, we're back in the last game, right?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's alright, but it's confusing.
Yeah, it really is.
We do see the extra bit of trick coming out. No, never mind.
Wow.
Azriel falls down to Young Legs. Didn't even get up into the power. Again, that's been the story of this game. Just is not able to get up onto power for someone to get close enough.
Yeah, and like the cast Death said, that Young Legs just likes to build full-on damage, and that's what he's doing right now. I only got the Glad
Link in from Vintage, chasing Flicks into that T2 tower.
Oh,
Up goes
goodbye,
Young Legs.
Flicks.
The Camazons, the bat out of hell, but TP coming out from Commando Chris might be able to keep him alive for long enough. The ultimate is there. Cupid trying to live, but isn't able to. Vintage Cow falling low now, though. Is up in the Cthulhu ultimate and has his team around. Commando Chris trying to do what he can. Negative Noob is around in the area as well, but there's 4 members of the blue team here, and they're not looking to stop. 5 now, looking straight to this own Fury, and there's no way they're going to pick this one up.
Yeah, good group by DMM there, and yeah, just diving that. They were just basically looking for a kill, just to get the Gold Fury going, and yeah, it's going to get secured by DMM.
Is able to get a negative move now out of position. Unger, chasing, looking for it. Probably not going to be able to pick that one up though instead. T1 tower and left is Snowy.
Yeah, very, very ballsy to look for more kills after getting the Gold Fury, but they can do whatever they want. They have Vintage Cow.
Ult coming into mid. Beast and Aegis used out of mid to keep himself healthy and alive, but this T1 tower won't last much longer. Azriel round the corner though, and a lot of the ultimates are down for DMM right now. They could be going too far here. Bit of a fight in the back line here. Negative Noob is going to be picked up by Snowy though, Young Legs, and a bit of trouble here. The Spirit Ball coming out over the wall. Vintage Cow though dashes in, looking for what he can. Might be able to lock Azriel down here. Is able to pick that one up, and no, the kill. Not able to come down. Finally, Powell on the mark, and he's going to pull Vintage Cow in. The damage is there, and Vintage.
Oh, the slam dunk!
There. Barely getting out with his life is Azriel, but it's enough to be able to pick up Vintage there on the deep dive. Commando Chris clicking in this time, looking for Young Legs. The tether's there, the stun will come out soon, but bat out of hell, he's up, he's down, he's looking for Schmidt. He might be able to get out of this one, but Flicks is around the corner. There's the ultimate, and a good bit of damage coming out as well. Flicks down to half health, but picks up the kill onto Young Legs. A nice rotation from the ADC there.
Very, very well done by Shell Shocked. I love that slam dunk from Smitty with the 3.
Yep.
Oh, whatever ability that is. That was just so funny to me.
No, we're calling
that
it
was
the slam dunk now. It's the slam dunk.
The slam dunk. But very, very well done by Shell Shock there, just to return to a few kills there, and yeah, they're still not very far behind now. So
no, they're not, and
This
Each one
fight,
made the right play there. They got the Gold Fury, and then they got really greedy. They started chasing. They no ultimates
Yeah.
up. They dove the T1. They dove the T2. Like they knew that they were doing the wrong thing. They were monkeying around, and they got punished for it. I think Shell Shocked at this point is the kind of team that you can't do that sort of stuff to.
Azriel
And
looking.
Azriel wants to show it here, trying to take the 1v1 with Unga. Unga falling
Oh.
very low. They're barely able to dash out to his team.
Yeah.
Now
With
Azriel
no-
though has to back in time. Destinate's here. Might be able to.
Oh!
See ya.
Oh, I guess no Spirit Ball, and the 3 was just doesn't do damage. So.
Doesn't do damage.
Oh, but Vintage Cow gets the red buff invade, and that was very, very funny. But the Daji, I'm looking over, does not have Blink. Has the Aegis and Bees. I don't know why you would have Aegis
I don't think
to
you
begin
need it.
with.
I think you
but-
really need to blink on this.
Yeah, I think at the speed buff, if he
Here comes
Vintage Cow.
Cow on the Cthulhu, up in the ultimate, looking to poke out Schmitty, negative maneuvers. Cthulhu, not when he's like this, and the damage still coming down onto Schmitty, falling ever lower, and Vintage Cow is not going to drop this kill. He's looking for it now. Schmitty gets up into the air, but Vintage Cow has a dash available. Great body block from Negative Noob, though, able to get the rooftop off the back of it as well. Meanwhile, though, Fire Giant has been picked up and secured by DMM. Destinate going to pick up Azriel.
Flicks.
Flip pushing a Phoenix. This is so cringe, but if he picks it up, it might be worth it.
Oh my god, this is literally OC in a nutshell.
Unga Instinct is there on the rat up in the air, and he's going to be looking for Flicks here. Not a lot of chances for Flicks to get away from this one. Does use a beast to pull away, but Unga Instinct can definitely take this one wheel, and Fire Giant available for him here.
Meanwhile, right lane just pushing it all the way down to go
I mean,
into the
this
right
is a counterplay.
Phoenix.
If you're going to push our Phoenix, we're going to push your Phoenix, and Unga is
Yeah.
not going to let Flicks back here for free. No chance.
Yeah, Unga Instinct perfectly backed and instantly altered. Perfect person to go back to the base and try to fight Flicks. So
Negative Noob
very, very well
trying to hold
done.
this Phoenix up. He is slowing down Snowy's DPS a little bit, but it might not be enough. Destinate already quite low, taking this Phoenix down, though. The E-set not particularly tanky yet. Phoenix very low, though, and Vintage Cow is here. Potentially going to look for the pickup on Negative Noob. The ultimate comes out from the knock, but
But
it
Shell
won't
Shock to
be
back.
enough. Shell Shock to here. Not likely to get a pick here, though, unless someone overextends. Flicks still in the left lane.
Yeah, Unga Instinct just stopping
And now
him
Shell
back.
Shock are keeping DMM here. Vintage forces use the beads on that Cthulhu. Younglegs already has gone up into the Bat Out of Hell and come back down. Azriel, though, picked up by Younglegs. If they're able to pick up these kills here, though, they might be able to punish DMM.
Okay, Young Legs was just munching around there.
A little bit. You get that on big jobs. Snowy
Yeah,
looks to
you get
C2
that.
tower in mid. Negative Noob once again here to protect this one, but maybe not for long enough. Snowy able to get a lot of damage off already. Flicks in the area though, and Commando Chris around this corner might be able to come in. Blink, tether. He's looking for Snowy, able to chase this one down, gets a slow up, but there's a good knock up there.
Oh!
The dash was caught by that tether. Snowy goes up into the air, but there's a hard
Big
bomb
ult.
and the chase is there from Commando Chris. A beautiful play. Chris credited with that kill onto Snowy, and they're going to chase into this T1 tower.
I'd
Yes,
say
they
so,
are.
you have the momentum. The 2 people are dead, Young Legs and Snowy, only 3 alive.
None coming out on Commando Chris, it barely lasts a second. New DR is terrifying. 2-1 tower is here. And Shell Shock are doing what they can to keep this game, but there's a bit of a scary position. There's a rat around the corner, and they could be punished for this one. Schmitty's already used that dash.
Oh,
All the instinct up in the air. Good chance to get punished for this one. Vintage Cow dashing in. The rat, lands on top of Schmitty. Falling very low here. No way out of this one. Flicks in the area, but not able to do anything for his team at the moment. Commando Chris can't peel on this Osiris right now. Looking for a bit of damage in the backline. Negative Noob trying to lock down Destinate here, but it won't be enough. Flicks is going to fall. Aegis used, and he will die to Vintage Cow. Circle protection on the ground as well, keeping Desto and the rest of his team healthy. Commando Chris next one to fall, won't last much longer. T2 tower now being looked at by DMM and possibly the game.
Wow, this past like 2 minutes or so, or 3 minutes, have just been all hectic. We had the Fire Giant, and we had just going right, and
Take a break, boys. I want to breathe.
yeah, just give Samuel a break. Just let him breathe. Let him
Come on.
let him think.
Now, now he's chasing down Azriel. Does get the dash off, and Younglegs blinks in, looking for the damage
Wow.
as well. Azriel forced into the beads. Aegis is going to get out of this one. No, he's not. Younglegs picks up that kill, and the rest of DMM looking for the
They got
damage
the
on
Titan here.
Phoenix. They are probably going to try to end the game. This could be it. Phoenix and mid does for Vintage Cow and Younglegs backing up a little bit, maybe waiting for the rest of the team and the minions to come through. There is a fire wave and right as well. Could be an opportunity for the Titan, but opting instead to back off from this one. Younglegs out of position, but probably not dead on counter.
Meanwhile, Snowy just soloing the Godfrey, and that Bloodforge is probably helping him a little bit.
Fantastic
there.
pick. Great
Yeah,
pick.
fantastic.
Great item.
Yeah,
Good choice.
Young Legs looking just doing what
Literally
Young Legs I
just
guess
in
does.
In their base. Who cares?
Yeah, who
Why would
cares?
You're playing Amazon, you can't die.
Yeah. But not really much anti-heal coming out from Shellshocked. Kind of upset by that. Only
They
see the
needed it.
brawlers. They definitely
really
needed it.
needed it.
Yeah,
Needed-
with yeah.
Needed a pesty on or a contagion out of Chris. He's up in their whole team constantly. Definitely be constantly applying it. Maybe he's building that now. There absolutely needed to be a Divine Ruin as well from anybody on this team at this point. Even the Nox could apply the Divine Ruin pretty well.
Yeah, like you look right here, like Young Legs is just not taking any damage because look at the healing. But now Azriel's heal.
Azriel here now, but no, he's just going to stand this and heal up. This is the problem you need in to heal against this Camazots, and I mean the entirety of D-Triple-M's team is reliant on this.
Yeah, definitely.
Vintage Cow, Blink in, look with the dash onto Azriel. Parallel is available though, he might be able to get up. Yeah, he does, and Vintage Cow potentially caught here, uses the bees, trying to get the counter kill off. Goes up into the
Wow,
air.
that damage.
Damage coming out in return for a Vintage Cow fourth, and that's the problem with Ranger's Mask, I guess.
Yeah, he
Potentially
just got
turn around,
blown
no
up.
Fire Giant available for D-Triple-M at the moment.
Chris out of place.
Might just fall though. Chris looking to take a lot of damage here. Snowy though, the poke is there. Nice shell coming out from Desto to keep Snowy healthy, and Azrael rotating to that right side Phoenix to keep it alive. Kill those minions, but this might be the opportunity for D-Triple-M to that left side. Tower now, Young Legs taking the fight, Flicks very low, bad out of hell is there. He just needs one more, but the heal comes out. Flicks. Jeez.
Yeah, this has just been a shit fight. I will just be honest here. D-Triple-M are just toying with their food right now. They're just playing with it, hitting it around, and then they're going to chew it up and eat it and swallow.
For it though.
Yeah, they are getting punished. Azriel looking around, looking for a pick maybe, but yeah, they are coming back. Shellshock are coming back, and
Like
they
the longer D-Triple-M play for, the more opportunities
They have a
Shark
comeback.
get back into the game.
yeah, definitely.
That being said, Fire Giant now picked up by D-Triple-M. Not a lot of people in the area. Commando Chris here. Azriel around this corner as well, but already down to half health from the wave. Looking for Snowy is able to dash in and even get a bit of damage off, but it's not going to be enough. Azriel already taken very low. Unga Instinct up in the air. Commando Chris half health with the rest of the team around him. Unga Instinct picks up the kill on Azriel. Does fall with half, but it's not going to be enough. There's the huge Cupid old butt. Vintage Cow goes up into Cthulhu himself. Schmitty picking up Unga Instinct. Damage coming out. The girdle was used there as well to get off a little bit more. Schmitty now taking the poke from Vintage Cow, but the Cthulhu ult's not getting a lot of value at the moment. Flick's still in the area, and it looks like a disengage coming out. Snowy was taken very low there. He's going to be able to fly back in. And a TP coming out as well from Commando Chris. He's in the back line. Vintage Cow potentially in trouble here. Young Legs blinks in, looking for Schmitty, and there's no one to peel for the backline right now. Schmitty gets up into the air. Young Legs, though, up into the air himself. Bat out of hell, and down falls Schmitty. Vintage Cow credited with that kill, and the chase is on. Vintage Cow still following through. Looking for Flicks now. He is able to get into the silence range of that Nox and keep himself alive for a little bit, and the healing is coming through. Flicks is able to survive for just a little bit longer. He's still living. Snowy, though, looking for the chase, is able to get the dash off, but he doesn't have a knock-up available, and there's a crit. Flicks falls. Meanwhile, in the rest of the fight, Desto half health, but not enough damage coming out from Chris. Youngleg's going to chase down Negative Noob, while the rest of the team looks for Commando Chris, and it's likely that Snowy's trying to wrap around to try to get a Phoenix here. No, he will look for Chris, and the crit's coming out. No spectral armor for Chris at the moment. He's able to also have that wall, but Snowy can chase it, and they probably pick up Chris here and look for this Phoenix.
Yeah, definitely. You're gonna look at the mid Phoenix and the right Phoenix. Hopefully they can split push it, which they should. But that fight was just all hectic. I don't even know what happened. Shellshock just weren't grouped up at the time, and D-Triple-M were fully grouped up, and then they all just like split off, and nothing really happened. They got one for one pick, and now they're looking for the end.
Fight now under threat, but no Fire Giant on the side of D-Triple-M. They could be in a bit of trouble here. Schmitty is able to get the ult off, but Unga in the air. He's looking for what he can. He just has to find the right target. Azriel on the ground and up into the power. He could get a huge value ult off here. Circle of protection on the ground underneath it though. There's a Cupid ult, but Bat out of hell chasing down Azriel. Younglegs credited with that kill. Unga Instinct, he has a hard bomb on him, but he's still alive. Younglegs double kill, managing to pick up Flicks there. There's the girdle. Huge damage coming out. Vintage isn't doing enough. Younglegs triple kill. And it looks like this is the opportunity that D-Triple-M have been waiting for this game. Just need to push it to the Titan to get this valuable
Quadra?
Schmitty falling. Quadra kill. Young Legs, he just needs the last one, but where's Chris? There he
Where's
is.
Chris? There he is. They're gonna go for it though. He's gonna...
I mean, he's looking for a Chris. Uses the up down, might be able to survive for long enough. Schmitty gets the kill on Instinct. Young Legs probably too late to pick up this kill. Commando Chris likely looking for it, and probably a bit too hungry for the pentakill. So no end to the game at this point. Instead, left Phoenix going to be looked at.
Just a little bit of trolling here, but
No.
yeah.
Professional Smite, alright?
Yeah, this is professional, but yeah, good quadra kill from Young Legs there, and like we said before, this healing is just outrageous. Like he's just healing so much, and the only real healing, anti-heal that they have is still the brawlers, and nothing has changed.
No, nothing has changed. Instead of going towards the contagion, Chris managed to pick up the spectral there, which is good into the Jingwei, but it means that he's built out, like fully built, and has no anti-heal. With that gold lead as well, 11,500 gold in favour of DMM at the moment, and a 14,000 XP lead. Everyone level 20 on that side. Nearly everyone though on Shell Shock level 20 as well. XP lead won't be much longer.
Yeah, this Fire Giant is going to be the big PSA here.
What do you do in this position if you're Shell Shock? Are you trying to make the in-play into this? Because, I mean, you just lose if they get EFG, right?
Yeah, I think you do have to grip up. I don't know why they're not even looking at the Fire Giant. We have like people over at left, people at the red buff, and they're just taking this Fire Giant. But also, we have deep.
Goes up through the air, the Fire Giant is low, he's potentially looking for Azrael, the focus protection is down, secure, Azrael landed on, but not dead just yet, trying to get out of this one. EFG secured by Deep Triple M.
Wow.
Instinct picks up the kill on Azrael, and Negative Noob, probably the next one on the radar. Frenzy popped, and the chase is on, Snowy falls low, but not low enough, Flix is there, but Crit is going for him, and was that? Okay, no, it was Bat Out of Hell, and Jingwei Ultimate, I was very confused for a second there.
Yeah.
Flix does fall. Schmitty able to pick up the kill on the instinct, but probably a little too late as Schmitty falls himself. That kill on the rest of DMM, pushing into the Titan room. Commando Chris left alone. Blink coming out from Vintage Cow. I mean, at this point, surely we don't need another independent kill. Leave him alone for the Titan boys. Come on. They would never farm the fountain. They're not going to kill the Chris. There's no Cyrus.
They're just farming player damage, that's all they want. I'm guessing that's
the stats for the end of the season, right? 45,000 player damage from the Camazos, and not far behind Vintage Cow at 40,000. Ridiculous numbers coming out from those.
Ridiculous, but GG's from DMM and Shellshocked. Well fought, game 2 as well.
Yeah, fantastic second game there. I think Shellshocked really showing what they're made of in this competition, and really bringing it to DMM throughout the start and middle of that game. GG's indeed, as we are going to throw it back to the analysts now. Boys, tell us what you think of that set.
Well, it was certainly fun to watch, fun to spectate too, although quite difficult a lot of the time. So much was happening at so many different parts of the map, but entertaining nonetheless, which is what we wanted. So I don't know if I want to say good performance from both teams. I think they made the game go a little longer than it probably needed to, but I think they did play well, or mechanically at least. What do you think, Lath?
Yeah. I think that game went for probably 15 minutes longer than it should have. But I mean, exciting game to watch. You know, there was I don't know if I can put it as trolling from Desto's Microwave Miracles, but you know, not the cleanest of play from them. And I think they got punished in a couple of situations too.
Yeah, there was some really strong play on the side of Shellshocked, but Azrael just struggled a lot. He was doing so well early game to invade these buffs, to be on top of these timers and split the map. He was always somewhere else, finding an invade somehow. But he just did not transition it very well. You can see he lacked quite a bit of damage, and I mean, we kind of knew in the drafts, like, he would struggle with the Dargy ults, you know, with the team he was against with having a lot of CC immunity, and kind of hard to force those things. I don't think the Nox really forced a lot because there wasn't really much follow-up off it. There was no reason to beat these Nox combos. They were just so tanky. Vintage can just ult. Yeah, their whole team can just ult and be safe. Like, quite an obnoxious team comp, really, from Microwave Miracles. But yeah, it's...
Yeah, I mean, I got to give it to Az. He had a really good, as you said, really good early game. A couple really heads up invades. That first speed buff came back for back camps as well. You know, forced Desto to use his first ultimate just to secure his own red buff, which always feels nice as long as you can transition that into a bit of map pressure. And then even late game, he was hitting his chains. You know, he had so many 2 to 3 man chains.
Yeah, because they were so grouped.
As you said, though, there was so much CC immunity that I he struggled to pull anyone in. But I mean, as far as mechanical play, I thought he was quite impressive. I thought he was hitting a lot of his ults, and his early game was very good. And then, I mean, but can we just talk about the man of the hour though, Commando Chris? My word, did he go bonkers that set?
I thought you were gonna say legs, but both of them, the pair of them, did really well, and I think Chris especially because his team was struggling quite a bit, but he still was able to make so much of an impact. You know, he was kind of really the only frontliner. Not any ranged support is generally going to be like a backliner, and I think Nox is certainly one of those. So Chris is kind of out there alone, and he was still able to put out really good damage and pressure people, get a few kills for himself and his team, and did really well in lane 2. Probably did what he should have. I think Osiris wins lane against Kama until Kama gets those items, but yeah, impressed with both solo laners, really.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the Nox was good. I thought Dan played the Nox really well. As you said, more of that backline support kind of pick, and you know he was hitting a lot of his silence tethers. And but I mean, yeah, as you said, Chris was just so in their face, so aggressive. I do think a big issue with this team was the lack of anti-heal.
Yeah.
I mean, Jingwei didn't have a great deal because all she had was Bloodforge, but you still got the E set ult. The Ratatoska has a little bit built in, plus that Boomber's Hammer. The Cthulhu had a Bancrofts. Actually, Cthulhu had 3 lifesteal items, and then of course you got the Camazotz.
I mean, listen, like if you're a mid laner and you're versing a team with the tiniest smidge of healing, there's no reason not to build a divine. That item is core. Even if there is no healing, you see people building it. Like for Schmitty to not build it, I think it's a bit troll. Chronos Pendant first. It can be good sometimes depending on the god. On gods like Merlin and Janus and gods where ability spamming is nice, sure, but he's really missing it here, especially with how consistently Yu Huang can hit and his area damage. Yeah, a huge fail there, really, for that build.
Yeah, I think that was just kind of the big issue.
And it would have been nice probably for Flix to have, I don't know how viable it is to have anti-heal in a hunter, auto attack hunter build, but he was swinging, but it was just getting healed, so it wasn't enough.
Yeah, it's always rough building anti-heal on a hunter. I mean, unless maybe you're going the Shadow Steel Shuriken into a crit build, but I don't think Toxic Blade is overly nice.
Yeah, agree. Well, that's the end of that set. Dice, do we have any status on this upcoming set? Do we know if they're in lobby or anything?
Looks like most of them are in lobby. They're waiting on from the teams. Do we want to do?
Yeah, let's quickly get Snowy in, as it looks like he's been voted MVP.
Yeah, we'll quickly get him in.
Speedrunner.
We did already interview him earlier, so we'll just do a quick chit chat about the game and I guess what the thought was behind those picks and stuff and how they found it.
Looks like he's there and ready to go. Oh, hi Snowy, how you going, bro?
Oh, hello. How are we all?
Good game, my friend.
Entertained.
Thanks.
Very entertaining, actually.
It was fun to play.
Yeah, it actually looked like a pretty fun set. Obviously, vintage second game, pulling out the Cthulhu and Yegs on the Camazotz, some fun picks. But I mean, that was I think Shellshock put up a really good fight in that second game, especially looking for really good invades and all of that. What did you think of that team going into that game there?
I mean, being completely honest, it's pretty much what I expected. I know that Chris is a really good player, so I've teamed with him before, had some experience with him, and I love Chris. But I mean, the rest of it was pretty much whatever, non-factor, right?
Sorry, I think he lagged there, but no, I didn't hear what you said at all. What about your team game number 1? What were your picking up the gods that you did? A bit different from what we were expecting. I'm gonna be honest. The hell was a bit of a strange pick for us.
We got into comms, and the first thing Desto said is, to be honest with you, my hell support goes kind of Schwazy. And
well, that's got me sold.
I wanted to see some Schwazy hell, and that's what we got. So I was quite happy with that. I think it was really disappointing from our adopted team pet Legs dropping the only kill of that set. Solo kill, by the way, to Chris. So yeah.
I mean, I'm hearing that Yegs is the worst solo laner in the league, but that's fine. That's alright.
He did get a quadra though. That was
Yeah, you can't really say it like that.
That's a good point, actually.
That was a
somewhat
cheap quadra, though.
unkillable.
Yeah, Camazot's late game, no anti-heal. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, the game should have been over like 15 minutes, but Vintage and Legs have a constant need to try and get higher player damage for each other.
I
Which,
did notice that it was
I mean,
about
yeah, obviously when you're in game, you can't see how much damage everyone has done exactly, but somehow they knew they were about 1,000 off each other because they were really
They
going
live
for
with
it.
the T screen up.
Yeah, okay.
Like the comms going through there was Legs is like, oh, we can end now. I've been on the T screen for quite a while. I reckon I'm safe.
Fair. That's fair.
well.
we need
good
to get
game.
moving along here.
Yeah,
We
good
have-
game, Snowy. Well done, and yeah, congrats first win of OCL season 2. Good luck next
Thank
week.
you.
Good on
Thank you,
Snowy.
thank you. Goodbye.
Cheers, bro. See ya. All right.